Oh, okay. What did I do? I was trying to get my Taco Bell food. Last time I checked, that's what I checked out the last time. Okay, I'm trying to get my Taco Bell food and your husband put his hands all over me. Your fucking husband put his hands all over me. And then my glasses were torn. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, yeah? I've got bruises to prove. You kick me in the fucking head. Bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, baby. I've got bruises to prove. Oh, yeah? Oh, baby, my standards are low. My standards are low. Do you know who I wanted to marry? Josh. My standards are low. Yeah. Last time I checked, I wanted to marry Josh. Okay. Kick me in the crotch. I dare you. Bitch. Bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, yeah? I've got bruises to prove. You kick me in the fucking head. Bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, baby. I have all the bruises to prove your fucking abuse. You go.
Haul her ass away. Haul her ass away. Happy day and they take her away. Haul her ass away. Haul her ass away.
You kick me in the head. You kick me in the fucking head.
Haul her ass away. Haul her ass away. Happy day and they take her away. Haul her ass away. Haul her ass away.
Will you shut the fuck up?
Take her away.
I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, I've got bruises to prove it. Oh, yeah? I've got bruises to prove.
Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around. TV Underground has the best video clips in town. TV Underground has the best video clips around.
Welcome, one and all. Thanks for joining me. Back again for another afternoon stream. Please give us a like. Please help us get closer to the Ghoul. The Ghoul, of course, is through Streamlabs. If you want to use Streamlabs, use the link pinned at the top of the chat. You can use, whatever payment option, Venmo, PayPal, credit, debit, whatever you'd like. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. We're going to watch some more of the Geno Samuel, Chris Chan Comprehensive History series. We watched episode 1 last night, and it's funny because this came out like 8 years ago, and I didn't really think to react to it because I'm like, oh, it's someone else reacting to Chris Chan. It's not really a reaction, though. It's a very carefully crafted documentary series by Geno Samuel. You should check out his channel. Just search Geno Samuel. You'll find it. Or you can search Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History. You'll find it that way. I think he's remastering them now, but we're going to watch some of the older ones. The non-remastered one. I guess he's George Lucasing his original creation, but maybe for the better. Who knows? Yeah. So what we're going to do before we do that is we're going to check out a few of Chris Chan's recent videos. So this is the most recent video on Chris Chan's channel right here. Let's see.
It's gonna be a straight quiz fight. Telling me that
The singing is great. The singing is so unenthusiastic. And I've noticed that because Chris Chan has entered various like singing competitions back in the day. And there's not a lot of enthusiasm. I think it's because they don't want other people to hear them singing.
yeah, I'm gonna get it
Like in their house or whatever.
right this time. Love is what we find. The second time around.
Okay, Love is Love, Now You've Been Pawned. Me singing the entire song, going back and forth between Lolisa and Jamsta. Take one, and 3, 2, 1.
Is this some sort of AI song? It sounds like country music. Blech.
I'm a little country pop. We're gonna make your hatred stop. I'll tell you straight up, no lies or emotions stop.
All right. First off, not singing on time. You started early, or maybe late. I think it was late.
I'm a little country
No, early. Started early because I could hear the beat about to drop where the singing was supposed to start. But Chris started early.
pop. We're gonna make your hatred stop. I'll tell you straight up, no lies or emotions, thoughts, and love come from deep in our hearts and souls. Our solid, truest alibis. Yo, check it. DJ Jeffson, Miss Lisa in the house.
Yo, check it.
I'm a lock, drop that bass. I show y'all a bass. Rock
I like how he's doing this like he's a DJ.
Jamming the beats, I break it down. My style, my savvy, my awesome rock hard soul. Our masterpiece, rock the corners. Yeah. That right. We got
Wow, this is going to be a #1 hit.
love is love. We're not sitting down.
It is the new Kid Rock. Damn, Chris Chan should have backed up Kid Rock at the alternative Super Bowl halftime show. The MAGA halftime show.
Gonna tell us. You've been called. I share a hug, I share a smile, I share a prayer. And love goes on many a mile. Kindness and honesty, my care and go. Show me hatred, cause
Why is Chris Chan going falsetto for the rap part?
I shall not bend or cry, shoot a heart, confidence and will. I don't hear you, troll. Saturday, lock on. Fist bump, high five, heck yeah, share that good fun, never they share. Spit my homies, love the peeps, stir fun, roughhouse, no ties. Drop the turntable on that, malcontent, not a thing. Get out, hey and tweeb.
Hell yeah.
We are prideful. We got love in this love. We're not stepping down.
Child of mine just the other day said once there was this kid who got into an accident and the cats are in damn cradle. MMM.
Thank you. The cats are in the
We
cradle.
got heart. We got soul. No troll and belly's gonna tell us. You've been pulled. I'm back at ya. Peace out. $11.08. What it's about? When I was down, I showed my heart. It's in the right place. Love for you's heart. I dig, I really like. Don't have to ask me twice. Awesome spike. Jam me, share a tune, sing a song. Let's
Is Chris Chan going to put out a whole album with all the Sonichu characters and voice each one of them?
Our pride is my pride. We stand strong and tall. Love is love, conversate. We will not fall. Rock the cars thrice. We got pride, we got love is love. We're not sitting down. We got heart, we got soul. Don't show that boy's gonna tell us.
Listen to that vocal harmony is actually not harmony. They're actually singing the same note, just like lower and higher, you know?
You've been called. Goodbye.
Actually, it's not the same note.
We got love is love. We're not standing down. We got heart. We got soul. No trouble and ball.
Now they're off time with each other.
Tell us. Are those brothers not gonna tell us? You've been called. We are faithful. We got love is love. We're not stepping down. We got heart. We got soul. No trolling bully's gonna tell us. Yeah, love lives. Now I start those troll boys everywhere. You've been called. Now that was best in tune as I can, but I feel like I nailed it. So there you go.
I feel like I nailed it.
Now go forward to peace with that which is light-powered and good, and enjoyed the full track that I uploaded to YouTube shortly enough. Thanks for the inspiration.
All right, here's another one.
Hey everybody, Jesus Christ, Team Western Sharon Sanchi Prime here once again. And I'm just gonna give you all a serious moment, a serious powwow, serious talk to. Guys, it's been on my mind for quite a while now. It's been a concern with me. Just, I kind of want to talk it out a bit, but...
What do you think the concern is? Did they change the color of Sonic the Hedgehog's arms again? What do you think it is?
Well...
Christian does a lot of sighing.
Kind of like a... potentially a big deal with me, where... I kind of realized and, learned it's still a mystery to me for
Look at the glove!
some parts, but...
Hee
I have been made aware of the new ground on the video that was uploaded to Newgrounds, I think in 2006, if I...
Okay, so 20 years
Don't
ago.
you just hate it when your cat wakes you up like this? Meow.
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 Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow.
It's kind of soothing,
Meow.
actually. I like that.
I understand correctly, it's called Chris Chan with the hyphen between Chris and Chan. Chris Chan sucks.
So, Chris Chan is making a video in 2026 about a Newgrounds video entitled Chris Chan Sucks. Okay? Why? Like, why? You're just now getting around to this?
So that made me realize, why did people hate me as early as in 2006? What did I do?
Go back and look.
What did I do wrong at that point? What did I do to offend? I don't understand. I really don't. I'm still baffled about it. And then, of course, I am quite aware of myself and everything. Just
Very self-aware. Very self-aware.
especially even more so now than I was under the SSRIs, those medications. So, obviously, and I'm going to just come out with a few choice words here. People have labeled me as, well, narcissistic.
Yeah?
Up to potentially being arrogant.
Uh-huh.
Well, okay, you know what? That's fair.
That's fair.
I'll
Okay.
grant y'all some of that. But as early as 2006, just people hate me for something like that when they didn't know me personally.
They didn't know you personally, but you leaked so much of your own personal information that they knew you well enough because you overshared like crazy back then. That's why we have your report cards from elementary school and the letter your dad wrote to you when you were like 6 years old and all this shit. We have it all because you yourself leaked it.
Just, I don't know. And then obviously it's like people were just picking random labels based on something from the pages that I had drawn and written in the science comic books or whatever.
Sonichu goes back and forth from being like a very like childish, like child-friendly even kind of story to like super dark, violent, sexual shit. You know, executions, like government mandated executions. There's some sick shit in some of the Sonichu stuff.
Did I even have any videos posted online by 2006? I'm not sure.
You did.
Maybe not. I don't think so.
There's all
As far
kinds of
as I
videos
can
from
recollect
2006.
Anyway, so just
I'm here and y'all are
still
there.
blank to me. And then people just get, and then all people, and some of you are watching this as well, the people that did, you know, these mislabelings, if I also called it, because, yes, it was essentially mislabeling.
You're bitching about a video that's been there for 20 years. And it's on a website that doesn't get used even close to as much as it used to. So why do you care? I know it doesn't make sense to talk reason, but I'm just like, this is a weird thing to get bent out of shape over. There's worse stuff from more recently. Like,
and then
I don't
just
know.
forcing a label upon me that might have been a not necessary thing for over those years. I was aside from that, just quick powwow. So what I've written and drew and just how I behaved and everything over the years, especially in those earlier days, and when I was under the SSRIs, the Paxil, the Paroxetine, then much later the Fluoxetine.
Okay. Quick survey. When we look at how Chris was back then and compare it to now, I guess Chris was on all these meds back then. Was Chris better then or now? I think jail changed Chris in many ways. And being in jail, Chris got in contact with people that helped them. And now it's very clear that Chris Chan has handlers that edit the videos and kind of regulate Chris's behavior. So I don't know if it's the lack of the meds or not, but it seems like there's influences that aren't.
And behold, a cousin kissed upon a cousin in Alabama.
Oh.
Their offspring begat the heralded savior that the world would come to know as Shanny's mystery meat, Cousin Matt.
Cousin Matt is Shanny's mystery meat. I like that. And Shanny likes it too. Thank you so much. We're almost at 75% of the ghoul. If you want to help with the ghoul, there's a link pinned in the top of the chat. Send me your messages, your thoughts. Oh, actually, I'll tell you after this video.
Well, I definitely was.
But yeah, I think Chris Chan has better influences. I think Chris Chan's parents were a mixture of non-existent to bad influences, especially Barbara. I think Chris Chan's dad was just too old to be a disciplinarian to like a 20-year-old. You know, he's like 70 and he has a 20-year-old kid that's all fucked up in the head. That's like way bigger than him. I mean, like, yeah. So I think now there's positive influences. It's crazy that after Bob died, the androgynous Chris Chan came around. Like that was bubbling beneath the surface. Because we know, like, Chris Chan had externalized homophobia as a result of repressed homosexuality, right? That's what it seems like to me. Because there was a lot of homophobia in early Chris Chan lore. And then Bob passes away, and all of a sudden Chris Chan's like, I'm a Tom girl. Kind of almost going through the same stuff that we saw Rev going through, in a way.
Not totally, well, in my mind at that point. Or rather, I was just so dumbed down and everything. Now I'm not, so I just feel like I have a more clear picture in my head. But yeah, and then the autism. The autism, despite me being high functioning,
High functioning.
I can come off as an emotion.
The high functioning thing is hilarious. It's like almost ironic, right? Like
Or something else that I never intended to.
yeah, you know what? We could get Chris Chan and Rev to be roommates. There you go. And they'll fall in love. They'll start off having separate bedrooms, but eventually they'll move into the same bedroom. Because they won't be able to deny it. We'll get Kitty Dooms and Jesus Christine Sonichu Prime in the same room together for a little while. You know it'll happen.
And just potentially I could come off as even a sociopath or something like that. I mean, what? Am I the American Psycho or something? I never intended to be that way whatsoever. Even if it may come out me sounding like that.
I mean, ask yourself, be honest. Who's more gross? Shani or Chris Chan? Who's more gross?
That's just never, I mean, if you listen to other autistic people.
If you had a gun to your head and you had to kiss one of them on the lips, which one would you choose? And you don't get, and don't say the bullet. That's stupid. Because you're not being honest. You would not choose to get your head blown off.
And some of them have actually talked about this in their own.
If you would choose to get your head blown off, you would. There's something else wrong with you, and it's not just the question, right?
Way as well, just where they explained how they talk, and they may come off like that, but obviously.
Yeah, Christian has way better oral hygiene habits. They don't seem to smoke, and I'm not talking about making out. I'm talking about like mwah, like that.
They're not. And I'm not. Okay? I never was. But still, I feel like I've been victimized with this.
And then someone's like, I'd make love to Shani. Sure. Joke's on them. I was only pretending.
Gross mislabeling, among all the other mislabelings and everything. Just still, that bothers me. That's been bothering me. That's been worrisome and concerning. I mean, what does it say about this world when you have people like that just doing that to not only me, but just random people in general. Somebody in the common public, somebody as a celebrity, somebody in the government. Right.
A lot of this is nonsense that's hard to respond to.
I don't know. But yeah, also just something else I'll comment as well. I try to be good as an individual as possible.
You do?
And I have been victimized and everything, but just because I have been victimized and I've been disabled and everything, people feel sorry for me and everything, well, that doesn't mean I'm not a bad person. I'll admit this. I have been a bad person. I'm not, and all things considered, I still am a bad person. But I simply want to be good, and I want to do good. And
I wonder what Chris Chan means that they're currently still a bad person, all things considered.
Pray every day for that. Just, that's what I want. And I want people to try to understand, appreciate that, and not just be like, oh, Chris Chan's just pulling another act or something. No. Do I sound like I'm pulling on an act? Seriously, I'm not. I'm being open and honest here.
True and honest.
Open and honest. I can tell you that most directly here. But still, I feel like also I never really appreciated my fans who were kind and approached me before. I mean, I have a long time for so many years. I've pretty much been going with the flow of events and everything. I mean, shoot, being on the SSRIs And not really, and just me being, well, I'll go ahead and say this about myself. Just a lot of times, I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I'm just dumb. I'm not totally stupid, but I'm dumb. Social etiquette, online etiquette, the memes people have become aware of. What rock have I been hiding under to keep myself from seeing these memes and shit that people from as early as 2000 or whatever have been going online and looking at and then watching?
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch some of the Christery. We watched part 1, which was like from his birth up until where he graduated high school, which is before the most of social media discovered Chris Chan. So the next one really kicks it into high gear because Chris starts going to college and starts hanging up the Love Quest posters, and then there are online forums that focus on like shitty artwork and bad writing that find Sonichu, and then shit really starts to snowball from there because Chris starts responding to it.
Where have I been?
That's when the trolling starts.
I don't know. Being sheltered in the master ball that was that house in Ruckersville.
I will say I'm shocked that it's... I don't go looking for it because what am I going to do with it? But I'm pretty sure no one is exactly sure where Chris Chan lives now. Right? Maybe there are crazy people that'll dig it up, but like Chris Chan used to just like dox himself all the time.
Watching cable television, playing video games. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, okay? And then obviously, hey, I suddenly just being famous. It is 2004 or SITS or something.
SITS. SITS is how Chris Chan says the number 6.
Being famous, it just fell into my lap. It fell into my lap. And just, I'm still grasping with how to handle that my own way. I mean, hey, any person, just neurotypical, having gone through all this exposure to the hatred and people on the internet and everything, but anybody else, they would have dropped off the internet some time ago, but not me. I don't totally know why, but I feel like also I remain optimistic of that which is good of the people, the kindness of others, just the actual kindness within. And that's just outside of the obvious hatred and hate comments posted on the comments boards, the comment section, and so forth. Just
see, it's my understanding that Chris got kicked out of elementary school, and they wanted to put the local school district wanted to put Chris in like a special needs school, and Bob and Barb didn't want to do that, so Bob got an apartment in another school district so that Chris could keep going to like a normal school. So Chris kept going to that school to go to like a regular public school is what I think is what happened. And then they moved back after he graduated.
That's a whole thing. Am I reading those comments? Not as much as
And I feel like maybe Chris should have went to a special school with people who were trained. I guess, the other high school was good, like as far as they know. Things started going downhill after, but yeah, I don't know. probably the special school probably would have been a good idea.
I end up being used to, or sometimes where I was forced to, or even when I just read them out of curiosity. It felt like I needed to just be updated, like, just see, look at the quickie, see, oh, look, have I been spotted like Bigfoot again?
Huh?
That's another criticism. No more Bigfoot hunts. Stop with the Bigfoot hunts. I've had with those sharp bug Bigfoot hunts imposed upon me because enough is enough. And you can go ahead and meme that or anything I've said in this video, whatever. But I am being authentic and direct right here. All right? And just anything else.
Wow, this video is very long.
Paint me as somebody that was evil over the years. Well, I don't expect anybody to like me based on all that. I don't expect anybody to be kind to me or anything, and then the allegations that people have misinterpreted me as over the years and they made worse on the internet. I mean, shoot.
I mean, the hard part for you, Jesus Christine Sonichu Prime, is that there's a verified recording of you saying that you fucked your mom, and then you went to jail for 2 years. Now, you weren't charged. They held you for 2 years, which is crazy. Part of that was in a mental hospital. They did not charge you. I don't know the reasoning why. I don't know if there wasn't enough evidence or what. But yeah, that's hard to come back from. Even if you didn't do it. There's a recorded confession of you. I said the same thing to Rev. There's a video of Rev admitting he kicked a kid. So even if it didn't happen like he's trying to claim, most people aren't going to believe that. They're going to believe his confession. You know what I mean? So you got to just move on. That's all you can do. Because that's not going away. Your recorded confession of you is not going away.
You draw something, you write something, sometimes people are going to take that seriously. That is not meant to be a joke. People are going to literally pay attention to that and be like, I don't know.
Oh, I have something else too that I forgot to play. That actually relates to this subject that I'm going to play too before we get into the Geno Samuel stuff. Hey guys, I'm trying really hard to meet the goal. It's very important that I meet the goal. So if you guys want to help, I'm going to keep streaming. We'll see how long I can do it. I already ate and did all the stuff I needed to do before I started this stream. So I think I can make it like a long, long stream. And I'm hoping people will help out. A cracker.
I just go, what? Oh, wait, this is just basically a picture of this individual. This guy just very arrogant, and this guy would be like, the Nazis and shit.
Any G-Men news on his Captain Ahab quest line?
No, he never found them. And Rev and Shani in the last live stream that they did were like, G-Man, we said we'd work it out with you and where you could meet up with us, but you didn't respond to us. So now if that's not going to happen, just leave us alone, is what they said, basically.
If you're going to post,
G-Man's focused on Hussey. That's G-Man's obsession. G-Man's very offended that Hussey called him gay.
And comment on anything, make sure it's serious. You got to expect a whole bunch of people just be taking that literally. Not everybody is going to realize that it's a joke. I end up realizing that such things, such the impersonal comments and details and everything, for the lulz. I'm trying to replicate that meme face.
God,
for the lulz.
I don't know how much longer I should watch this video. Maybe a little bit more.
Pisses me off. Okay.
Okay.
This is not a total rant video, but this is becoming just down to earth and everything. I may disappoint a lot of you by saying that, I'm not totally good, but here's another ultimate truth I'm going to tell all of you. Just everybody, you,
What?
and me, all of us, every single one of us.
Chris Chan is a deeper rabbit hole than anyone ever expects. Buckle up, snitches. It is the deepest of the deep rabbit holes. And thank you, by the way. I appreciate it. We're almost at 75%. Thank you so much.
We have the capability, each of us, we each have the capability of being and doing good. But at the same time, we all are capable of doing bad and evil, especially if we end up having to or under pressure.
Okay.
Okay?
Chris Chan was just...
So just keep that in mind.
Chris Chan was just under pressure to do evil, okay, guys? All right?
When you're like judging others and when you're thinking about that, maybe perhaps you're judging yourselves with that as well. Do not judge others for things that you are yourself. And you know what? Here's another word choice word that every single individual, all of you, me, we are all perverts.
We're all perverts.
Good, neutral, bad, light-powered, evil, good, light-powered, good, light-powered, neutral, bad, evil. That range, all of you, no matter what, we are all perverts. It's not that great. In fact, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of myself for being a pervert, and then I'm just ashamed of just people who are perverts and how they exhibit themselves and just
I guess asexual people have like no perverted thoughts ever. Or maybe they do and they're just ashamed of it. I don't know.
too much sex on TV.
Sets.
There's too much sex media.
Sets.
I mean, sure, it's fine and all, but if you don't want to have future generations be perverts, then why is this shit on the internet, on the TV, and everything?
Chris Chan tries to mimic emotions, like we just saw right now, but it just comes off as really weird and fake. Almost the way like a little kid would like mimic emotion, an emotional response. It's like muted almost.
But it is. So, what are we going to do about this? There has to be a way to tone this down. Or something. I don't know. Maybe I went to a rant there, but I'm saying a truth. I'm stating truth here. Alright? There's another thing about me. I have attention deficit disorder. So
Oh, God.
I have my focus. I can shift off focus from the topic I'm talking about and my thought process. So it's like sometimes I might have to consider just having notes in front of me so I can get back on track. Obviously, I don't. I go off script so I can be more direct and honest that way.
True and
All right?
honest.
But in any event,
Are we meditating now?
trying to be good. I have made all my mistakes, especially that which became exposed when everything involving the theoretical essays. I'll even throw in with Megan Schroeder and Catherine Sorrentino in that.
Megan Schroeder.
Okay? The way I behaved.
Megan Schroeder.
Was I totally aware of how I behaved socially and everything. Did I have any actual romantic relationships? Did I have any relationship experience? And with that being said, even despite what I've heard and learned from television, media, sex ed class, whatever. Does it resonate? Does it stick when tried to put in practice for the first X number of times? No, it does not. Okay? It may be like, oh, ha ha ha, funny! Look how Christian reacted in this random phone call with his answers. Oh, so you're a perfect. Look at me. Shit. What I do, I just went with the flow and whatever spewed out of my mouth at the time or whatever. But still, I think perhaps all of you have been similar or worse. Ever thought about that? So yeah. So just, that's one thought process I have in this moment. Just, I want to share that, let that out. And I don't expect everybody to like me. I know people have their reasons to hate me and think me in such bad ways, but I really, really want people to be forgiving of me despite everything. I mean, I know. Oh, is it in the purple in Christian's world that that everybody be forgiven for whatever, even the worst of things? No. But if you look in any religious aspect, and that which is good, holy, light-powered, then eventually they should. I mean, gods and goddesses, Emmanuel himself, herself, themselves, they forgive. They forgive those who have sinned, and especially those who have sinned and repented and realized they did wrong and have been hurting over it and just strive.
All right, I'm moving on to the next thing. Check this out. I saw this the other day.
On August 6, 2021, I had the last known reported interview with infamous troll Isabella Loretta Janke.
Nobody talked about you. Nobody talked about Christian. Nobody talked about anything there. That's what I'm saying.
Earlier that week, a call she had with Chris Chan had leaked online, leading to Chris Chan's arrest and the story going mega viral online. That year, I was working as a digital culture reporter.
So this guy, he worked for Business Insider, doing like internet culture reporting, digital culture writer.
At Business Insider, covering the oddities of the internet, which included Chris Chan's arrest. While I was working to peel back the layers of the call, Isabella tricked me, belittled me, and doxed me. After weeks of working on an article pulling back the layers of the lies, my editor decided that the story just wasn't working and killed it. So for the past 5 years, this has just been sitting in my drafts. And I decided—
He has a Sonichu medallion and it's hanging from an infinity gauntlet.
Now that I have a YouTube channel, it's time for me to share that story. So, hello internet. Welcome to Stephen A. Sarch Talks.
Stephen A. Sarch.
So we have to go back to July 29th, 2021, the day Christory was made. On a Discord dedicated to chronicling and studying each individual aspect of Chris Chan, a user named Snoo wrote that they had something big. I talked to someone who knew Chris personally. She told me he fucked his mom. I have proof. Most of the Discord was skeptical, and justifiably so. Christine has had a massive wave of trolls and people—
The pickle-suited N-word.
People on the internet pretending to be boyfriends, employers, and even Nintendo executives. So someone saying that they have the ultimate call was met with skepticism, but their suspicion quickly turned into intrigue. 15 minutes after the first message, Snoo posted to the Discord with 3 audio clips, one of which included someone who sounded like Christine talking about having sex with their 79-year-old mother to another female voice.
But I didn't have any idea that Barbara was, that Barbara and you had that sort of relationship. I never got any of those vibes. But how did you approach her?
Approached her with care and caution,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a time approach. So I just gave her comfort and talked with her, and we just branched out slow and steady. And then I encouraged her positively, let her make the first move.
The commenters were left
That's
stunned.
crazy.
Please tell me this is a lie. You're lying. This is fake. I don't believe it. I really hope one day we're in the documentary being the first people to react to this godforsaken clip. Hi guys. I know it's not a traditional documentary, but I hope you will settle for a guy making a YouTube video. The conversation was soon posted to Kiwi Farms and YouTube and spread like a virus online, going viral on social media within hours. Chris Chan started trending on Twitter, and soon even normies were starting to question, what's going on here? On August 1st, just days after the call with Christine leaked online, Christine was arrested while she was at a motel in Henrico, Virginia. The arrest was captured live. Many people online, including myself, were glued to our phones, wondering what the next wild part of this saga was going to be. Over the past decade, I have had an obsession with studying and analyzing lolcows. These are individuals who are used and mocked by their audiences, being prodded for lulz and attention. They are often neurodivergent or quirky, with a personality trait that can make them easily hated. I've spent time and studied some of the most infamous lolcows. I spent multiple days hanging out and drinking with World of T-shirts.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an alcoholic, but I definitely have an issue.
I spoke to Boogie2988 for over 2 hours, and
I wouldn't say I'm an alcoholic.
few years back, I worked on a controversial docuseries about Onision, which I will probably be talking about on this channel one day. But Chris Chan has always been my most sacred of lolcows. I don't go as far back as the Something Awful forums in the early 2000s, when Christine was walking around with a sign looking for a boyfriend-free girl, and people were just finding out about her Sonichu cartoons. I became fascinated with her in the 2010s, watching video essay after video essay, discussing each individual aspect of the wild lore.
Yeah, the
that
Down the
Christine
Rabbit Hole one was the first one I watched.
Posted herself to the internet. I've reached out to interview her about a half dozen times and have never got any success. Christine, if you're watching this, I would still love to talk to you. I even purchased a Sonichu medallion, but just so you guys know, it doesn't have the curse that most Sonichu medallions have, because this is a replica made by a fan that worked with Christine that I bought for $25. I believe if it was...
Yeah, the ones, you could tell the ones that were actually made by Chris Chan.
Handcrafted, it would have that magic that might end up ruining my life. Years ago, I remember showing my editors at Newsweek some of my favorite pieces of Christery. The Afro Ninja animation, the original boyfriend-free girl sign.
That sign is crazy.
And lore videos from YouTube channel Gibby's Lore Cattle Ranch, who I knew I had to interview for this video.
I've been covering Chris Chan for 7 to 8 years on my channel Gibby's Lore Cattle Ranch. I had a bit of a strange introduction to Chris in that I discovered him through Sonichu. I didn't hear this story about this, all this lore about this bullied autistic guy from the 2000s.
If you guys got things you want me to watch on the channel, there's a link to the Discord in the description. That's the easiest way to send me, that's a good way to send me content to watch. There's a content section in the Discord. So there's a link down below.
I learned about Sonichu and started reading it, and Sonichu becomes completely incoherent after, 5 seconds if you don't know the life story of Chris Chan. So I started looking into that, and, a lot of the focus on Chris's story is really about the 2005 to 2011 era of documenting him and all the trolls and all the Sonichu and things like that. And so to learn the basics of that, and then to go on Twitter and one day see modern, at the time 2017, 2018 Chris tweeting about the dimensional merge and Sonichu being real and him being trans now, was like this like, what happened here? I feel like I skipped 10 seasons in a TV show.
While I was at Business Insider in 2021, I was essentially their eccentric personality person. I covered TikTok cults, animated SFW trends, and any oddity that appeared on your FYP. When I saw all of the conversation around Chris Chan, I knew it was something that I had to cover, but it was a harder sell to my editor, who didn't really understand what the story was.
He did not write the Revan Shani Business Insider article. It was Cat Tenbarge that did. Interesting.
Him, it just kind of seemed like bullying this person that got arrested. But to me, who had spent years kind of examining and piecing together pieces of the lore, I knew that there were individuals online who were desperately looking for some form of journalists to kind of look into this story. Just not Tucker Carlson, who took my reporting to push his really shitty transphobic angle on the situation. Online in these spaces, video essayists can tend to be a little loose when it comes to factual accuracy, and I wanted to create a place where people could actually find the information they were looking for from a journalist. When I first approached my editor, who we'll call C, with the story, it was a bit of a hard sell. He didn't really understand why it was an important story or why anybody would care. But eventually, after a few minutes, maybe even hours of negotiating, I got the green light and wrote the first story about Christine's arrest for Business Insider. I was one of the first mainstream journalists to write about Christine's arrest, and that story did insanely well. It was one of the top stories on all of Business Insider. I remember the bosses being really confused as to who this person was and why so many people were interested in their arrest, but the clicks didn't lie, and my editor knew that this was a great opportunity to keep things going. So I kept reporting on Christine. I wrote when she was put in a male jail. I interviewed her lawyer, and I even interviewed Geno Samuel, the person behind the 85-part comprehensive history of Chris Chan. But while I was writing all of these pieces, I was still chasing the biggest story. Who recorded the call and how did it leak online? Even if Christine hadn't been arrested, I think getting a straight answer from her might have been difficult. She had been talking about a dimensional merge where cartoon characters would break out into the real world. I found the Twitter account that posted the audio leaks before anyone else, and I reached out to them. The persons behind the account, Mark and Luis, I've heard Luis and Louis, but I'm gonna go with Luis. They told me that they knew who leaked the call and asked if I wanted to speak to their ringleader, Bella. So on August 1st, I started messaging Bella on Signal. She refused to call at first. She instead decided to spin a tale that she was a 26-year-old who worked at the Baltimore Sun and her name was Billy Lewis.
Okay, my full name is Billie Jean Lewis.
Bella was just a nickname Christine had given her since they were good friends after meeting at a brony convention a few years prior. I tried to ask for any confirmation, like an ID, but she always refused. She said it was too much. Bella said that she was rarely online and Christine would get annoying, but she was a character that was harmless. Bella would regularly chat with Christine, goading her for private information for their amusement. On that infamous call, Bella said she used a voice changer and wasn't even planning on recording the call. It wasn't until Christine started talking about her interactions with Barbara that she pulled in her friend, who decided we need to record this. And the call changed their opinion on Christine, who is now gross, disgusting, and putrid. I wanted to bleach my ears in the call, but I had to be nice so she would continue talking about it without hesitation. Bella wanted me to focus on anyone but her. She pointed me towards the Sutress, a devoted Chris Chan fan who she had shared the call with. In her eyes, the Sutress was such a big fan that there would be no way that she would leak the call on the internet, but Gibby has a different theory.
There was always the question of motivation, right? Which is like, why would Bella release this and then try to hide her identity? And the answer is just the crazy coincidence that she shared it with the Sutress because she had a crush on the Sutress. And the Sutress is then the one who leaked it to this wider Chris Chan fan club. And then they're the ones who leaked it to the wider internet. So like Bella could have held on to this and done something with it, maybe like blackmailed Chris, but she trusted the Sutras, and then the Sutras is the one who leaked it to the internet. So Bella just made all of these stupid mistakes and then made it worse for herself.
Bella had been messaging other YouTubers, including Gibby and Geno Samuel. Bella had asked Geno to communicate before he had posted the part of the comprehensive history that included her. Instead, he did this.
On August 2nd, the supposed Bella emailed Geno Samuel regarding her eventual appearance in the documentary series. Geno replied that he could not reply as he was currently on sabbatical from the documentary until February 2022, instead suggesting that she contact quick-centric YouTuber Gibby for a more fruitful discussion.
When Gibby was talking to Bella, he was told an entirely different BS story.
Basically, the narrative at the time was that the Kiwi Farms were really close to doxing the girl whose voice was on the audio, and Bella did not want that to happen. And so that's why she was coming up with all these narratives to try to make her real identity not part of the story. She didn't want to be doxxed. And so she created this persona of someone whose name was also Bella. And the story she told me was, she's like, hey, I'm Bella. I'm not the person on the audio. That's my other friend. So while the Kiwi Farms is going after Bella, that's not the person they're really looking for. Please, don't dox me. I'm not involved. That's generally the story that she was trying to claim to me.
Oh my God.
She had this fake ID that I know that
she ran away after a lot of this shit happened.
Talk about this.
Bella also gave me the number of Samoes, who they claimed was in the incest call as well. They recorded the call with their tablets and sent the call to Bella and as an anonymous tip to the Greene County Police Sheriff. Samoes had no problem sharing their ID, as well as a photo they claim they took of Christine at a convention. I immediately sniffed out both their backstories as bullshit. There's no way a journalist working for the Baltimore Sun, or any outlet for that matter, would have a call that claimed incest, illegal incest, was happening, and they would just have it leaked on the internet. And that image that was sent to me by Samoes was actually from HarmonyCon 2015 and had been posted online years prior. On August 4th, I called out Bella, saying, I know you aren't a 26-year-old dude, but in order to trust you and share where the call came from, I need what happened. Suddenly, Bella's story changed again. She had seen Christine at a Rubik's Cube convention years prior, and then had started watching video essays on Chris Chan. She shared a photo of her face obscured, which doesn't really give me exactly who this person is, but it is clearly not a 26-year-old guy named Billy Lewis. And that became even clearer I was lied to when on August 5th, 30,000 messages from Bella's Discord had leaked to Kiwi Farms. Turns out Lewis wasn't too kind on how Bella had been sharing the story behind the scenes and leaked their entire Discord to the public. Now, I have to always admit, I've been a bit skeptical of Kiwi Farms. I am in fact a woke liberal journo, and that isn't exactly a popular stereotype on the platform. And they haven't always been my biggest fans. There are quite a few posts about stories I've written about over the years. About my latest pirate software video, one person wrote, while posting an image zoomed in on my nose, I'm not saying we should totally discredit him, but he's a game journalist, and we all know what to think of them too. After I described Kiwi Farms as a forum dedicated to the harassment of online personalities in a 2024 article, one user wrote, Hey Stephen A. Sarge, we aren't all schmeo-schmozzies here. Some of us are just gender-critical bitches with a low tolerance for online idiocy. But I do have to acknowledge that the platform is good at finding information, even when it is less than ethically sourced. After her original call with Christine had leaked online, Bella had spent time posting on Kiwi Farms as another account, trying to throw off their scent. But all that ended up doing was having Kiwi Farms members figure out who Bella actually was. Gibby kinda got caught up all of this, and his reporting wasn't the best, and Kiwi Farms wasn't a fan.
So this person from my server was friends with the Sutras, and the Sutras had mentioned their friend Bella a couple times. Offhand, over the months that these people knew each other. So the person on my server was like, I remember the Sutras told me her name, that this person was talking to Chris Chan, and that's definitely the person in the recording, but I just can't remember what their name is. I can't remember the name Bella. Kiwi Farms thought that Bella's name was Kelly. And so my fan was like, I don't remember the name, I'd remember it if I saw it, but I know it's not Kelly. So on my channel, with my coverage of the topic, I'm like, guys, the girl on the recording, her name's not Kelly. Kiwi Farms is getting it wrong. Kiwi Farms didn't like that. It didn't like that I was disagreeing with them. I was protecting my source, you know, my subscriber. I believe they were a minor at the time, and they didn't want to be involved in the situation. So Kiwi Farms people were coming to me saying, where did you get this info? What's your source? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I got to protect their anonymity. They didn't want to be known. They didn't want any of this stuff to come out. So I can't tell you my source. And also, I don't actually know Bella's name. I just, you know, I'm trusting this person. I know it's not Kelly. I ended up being half right. Kiwi Farms ended up being half right because the Kelly Osbourne accounts were Bella, but it was a fake name. So I was right in that Bella's name isn't Kelly, and they were right in that the Kelly Osbourne accounts did belong to Bella.
Bella had posted under an alt account on
really
Kiwi Farms.
There was an attempt to create a lot of confusion.
Blames towards the Sutress and Luis, trying to throw off their scent. Users were able to follow the breadcrumbs the account had left behind, and were able to prove that Bella was in fact Isabella Loretta Jenke, a college student in Texas. Luis, angry at how things had turned out, leaked their entire chess club Discord. Now, I am not getting into the grotesque and truly awful details that exist in this Discord, but I will let Gibby explain some of them to you. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, so her Discord server, you know, the chess club is leaked. There was a channel that had Chris involved. So, you know, Chris would go in there and talk to them, and they'd all, you know, just chit-chat. And then there was another channel that Chris wasn't in. And this is where Bella was talking to all of her friends. And again, sharing dark jokes. But it was stuff like she had, like, a young puppy at her house, and the dog pooped all over the floor, and Bella didn't clean it up. And the dog would, like, walk in it and get, like, the poop between its paws. And she's like, oh, I hope it gets an infection so we can cut off its feet. She talked about, like, oh, I drowned one of my hamsters in a pot of water. Oh, I microwaved my hamster. And, you know, who knows how true literally any of that is, but, you know, who cares at this point?
I did ask Bella about the boiled hamster, but she said the claim was insane. Instead, I want to focus on how I end up in the leak. Just so you know, NP2348 is Bella, and Luis is Luis. Some guy is messaging me now. His name is Stephen Arsh. Luis wrote, I've had my last name Asarch mispronounced a whole lot of ways, but that was a new one. Give me his info then, Bella responds. They had come up with this plan to create a fake name together. I was going to tell the recorder my name was Goober Jernadik, I mean. He's a famous diversity journalist, apparently. I learned that Simoes was actually Mark, and the three had coordinated behind the scenes in an attempt to troll me. The Simoes ID was real, but it was of someone who wasn't involved in the story at all. I even reached out to the family members of Simoes to try and figure out what was going on. The only one I managed to get into contact with was their grandmother, who screamed at me over the phone and told me I was crazy. The Discord log completely seemed legitimate. The timing of their responses matched up with our conversation. My name is in there, and my source-only phone number is in the call, which doxed me. I don't really mind because it's not my real number, but getting doxed always sucks. On August 6th, I asked Bella about the leaked Discord messages and asked if they were real. She denied it entirely. LOL, just looked at it, no clue what this is or even what that convo is from. She kept claiming that all the Discord logs were fake, and I'd be silly to even think that they were real. But that made no sense to me, because how could my name and my number appear in them if the Discord logs were fake? I know I am a person on the internet, but I am not nearly popular enough to end up in a massive Chris Chan Discord leak, though it does flatter me. So finally, after days of trying to get Bella on a call, I finally succeeded, and we spoke for about 17 minutes.
Why? What's going on?
So
yeah, these videos of her being all weird.
Days of trying to get Bella on a call, I finally succeeded, and we spoke for about 17 minutes.
Why? What's going on?
So the chess club Discord server, basically all of the conversation that was in it was leaked. And
I saw those screenshots. No, those aren't real. That's not even my Discord name.
Well,
those are leaked by an ex of mine.
So I'm gonna try and disprove that because I don't believe you. My name shows up. So
You weren't in a Discord server. I was never
So-
in a Discord server with you.
this is what happened. When I messaged Luis on Twitter, he went to the Discord and asked if you wanted to talk.
Right?
He then posted my Google Voice number.
Yeah.
So
Well, he didn't give it. He didn't give it to me on Discord. He texted it to me. But again, it sounds like it looks like he just edited something and just took a screenshot of something and then edited my actual Texas Tech Discord link for. It's completely official for the actual club. Oh, that's it. That's not even my personal one. I wouldn't be chatting friendly like, oh hey guys, do you know Chris Chan? I stole money from him. How would I even do that? It doesn't make any sense.
I really recommend you at least taking a look at what Kiwi Farms has.
I did. Well, I looked at the thing and it was complete. It's nonsense.
Listening back on this call for the first time in years, I can clearly see that Bella is just lying to me and gaslighting me.
Nobody talked about you. Nobody talked about Christian. Nobody talked about anything there. That's what I'm saying. It's not hard to edit Discord stuff. I just thought of every word, like bad thing
that shit's edited, bro.
And just put in a sentence to pin on me, and that's kind of what's going on. But again, they don't really have many correct information. I mean, I'm sorry that you got doxxed. I feel bad, but again, that wasn't me.
She had created this whole narrative that it was actually her bitter ex-girlfriend who had created the Discord and lied about everything. But I interviewed that ex-girlfriend who asked not to be included in this video, so I won't be. She shared that Bella was actually obsessed with Christine and would host watch parties at Luis's place to watch the Chris Chan Comprehensive History with Geno Samuel. I guess that makes a bit of sense why she reached out to him, because she knew she was going to be featured and she just wanted to make sure that she was the star. When I called her out for that hypocrisy, I was basically back where I started. In order to publish the article, my editor told me that I needed to prove that Bella was Isabella without a shadow of a doubt. And to me, I had enough. But to him, I needed to have a confession. And Bella just wasn't going to give that to me. I had proof that the Discord was real, thanks to the timestamps. I had proof that Bella was the woman whose picture was appearing in Kiwi Farms, because the picture she sent lined up to that, but that just wasn't enough yet. And Bella wasn't going to make that easy. She continued to deny that she was Isabella Janke, calling all of these claims complete BS. That's insane. Honestly, I don't care anymore. The investigators know it's not true, and there's no point in even watching this train wreck anymore. I'm done. August 7th was the last day we spoke. She theorized about getting a lawyer to go after the people making claims about her, including Gibby, always denying that she had ever been in the server. She shared a Google Doc statement, which has since been deleted and proven to be full of factual inaccuracies. But after a few more messages, Bella ghosted me. I asked one final time for comment on the story, and I never got an answer. I wrote an entire article based off of the information I had obtained and included the lengths to which Bella went to try to lie to me. But my editor just didn't think it was a good story, and we didn't end up publishing it. I've had plenty of stories.
That must be crazy to spend all the time on something like this and then it didn't get published, and now he's publishing it years later. It would have got a lot more attention when the whole incident occurred
over the years, including my in-depth look into World of T-shirts. Let me know if you want to know about that. But this one has always bothered me more than the rest. I'm still bitter about this one. In a comment my editor left that I've saved for all these years, they wrote, "I feel right now the entire piece is way too confusing, and I'm not sure all the info is entirely necessary, and it might be worth stripping it down to the bare bones of what our reporting can contribute, rather than the entire retelling. In an article, you only have so many words, and you have an editor whose opinion is going to dictate what gets told. But here, I am the editor, and I can share absolutely everything. And I think you guys kind of want to know." As for Christine, she spent 2 years in prison and a mental facility.
It was actually jail, not prison. But that's That's nitpicking the details.
And her charges were eventually dropped because the only evidence of wrongdoing was Bella's call. And from what I understand, Bella was uncooperative with the police. Christine also talked about Isabella in a video discussing the accusations and her denying them.
Bella was the real sex criminal in that she really wanted to try to get me in something. She's the real criminal. Fucking bitch! Calling her out! Call her out! Isabella Jenkins. She's the real sex criminal, period. She did a whole mess of adulteration and manipulation and things in her own words and attitude, insinuations and everything. Okay?
To this day, I'm convinced that Christine had created a fantasy in their head, and none of the claims are actually correct. It was an unfortunate series.
I mean, that's possible, but I'm not convinced. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Events where trolls manipulated Christine to get content. But the story grew larger than them, snowballing into a massive viral phenomena that eventually overtook them and caused Isabella to vanish from the internet. But many like Gibby disagree.
Who was the mastermind, and also who knew what when? To this day, because I still cover Chris, and so I still get comments about this, there are people who think that Bella convinced Chris to start sleeping with Barb, or trolled Chris into doing it, or that the whole thing was a lie and she trolled Chris into admitting it on tape and it never really happened, but the phone call was real, but Chris never actually slept with Barb. And that's just not true. And you can tell this from the Discord logs, because the fact is that the call that Chris and Bella had was Chris admitting that she slept with Barb. Why would she have to admit that to Bella on call if Bella had convinced her to do it? That doesn't make any sense. And the day that the recording was made, we have logs of Bella talking to her friends like Mark and Louise and telling them, oh my God, I just got off the call with Chris, this crazy thing happened. So we have these logs of Bella reacting almost in real time to learning the information. Therefore, we know that the information was novel to Bella when the call happened. So the narrative that she convinced Chris to do it, or that she was involved in any way beyond being the person Chris told, is just completely false. And so I think that definitely helped shape the story and remove a lot of the guesswork that was happening at the time. My first video on the topic, I was like, guys, I don't think that this really happened. I think that Chris was, seeing into C-197 and, just dreamed that she slept with Barb and that Sonichu was there. I was in complete denial. But this really helped solidify that at least that part of the recording was genuine and that there were no trolls or coercion involved.
Christine also still uses an intro from Isabella.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm still not sure why.
Still,
Christine
even
is
like the video we watched earlier today.
Still posting, reading stories on YouTube, and posting on X about how she is in a redemption arc. Other than a recent expulsion from a convention, the drama around Chris Chan has been quite minimal. I'm still bothered by this story because it has no conclusion. Isabella essentially disappeared from the internet, and nobody knows what happened to her. Even her Kiwi Farms thread hasn't been updated in years. She just seemed to disappear from the internet and get away with it, which still makes me feel kind of bad. I don't think people should be able to manipulate, lie, and basically control an entire media narrative, and for all of us to just be like, okay, I guess she's gone now. I don't like being lied to, manipulated, and especially doxxed. This story is something that I've just been sort of sitting on and never been able to tell, and I'm hoping that me making this video gives me a bit of closure. Chris Chan is a fascinating individual, and the lolcows that exist online aren't going anywhere. Basically, we are hungrier than ever for lolcow content, and we're just going to keep seeing new individuals pop up to be manipulated and tormented by an audience that craves that type of content. But thankfully, now that I've gotten it out in a YouTube video, I should be able to breathe a bit easier. Unless this video causes Isabella Janke to appear from the shadows to strike me down, in which case, let Jesus Christ Chan Sonichu Prime have mercy on my soul. Thank you for watching.
Damn. Isabella Loretta Janke. She's quite janky, isn't she? All right, now we're going to get into Geno Samuel, Chris Chan, Part 2. We watched part 1 yesterday. Part 1 is the only one that's somewhat normal.
What made him this way? What is the attraction?
It just gets crazier from here.
What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
So, part 1 covered from Chris Chan's birth all the way up until high school graduation.
In the year 2000, the Chandlers came back to their family home in Ruckersville, and in August, at the behest of his parents, Christian began attending Piedmont, Virginia Community College, where the highest level degree students could attain was an associate degree.
Yeah, so like a 2-year degree. A lot of community colleges are like that.
Perhaps spellbound by illusions of grandeur, Chris chose to study marketing. But
Marketing
Bob quickly transferred him to a computer-aided drafting and design degree, in the hopes that it would be a better fit for his challenged son and his future. According to the PVCC handbook of the time, this was a 2-year degree, worth 15 credits. In addition, he took English classes and even a tennis class.
Tennis! English! Like, Chris Chan was writing half of his papers in high school in Spanish, like for other classes.
Apart from study, he continued to develop his Pokemon website and added more cards to his wall of originals, creating cards representing, among others, his beloved Sonichu. In October, he launched Quick's Sonichu site, a website devoted to his original character. Over the course of the year, the Sonichu family grew. He created Soni, Sonichu's pre-evolutionary form, and dedicated a trading card to him. He also gave Sonichu a female companion, Rosechu, based on Amy Rose from the Sonic franchise.
Yeah, another ripoff.
After high school, contact with his gal pals was lost, apart from Kelly. He claimed to have called her every weekend for about a year. For Christmas of that year, Christian made her a CD entitled Songs for Kelly as his gift. He incorporated a mini Sonichu into the artwork.
That's so weird.
Winter of 2000 is also significant, for that was when Chris created his Sonichu medallion, made of Crayola model magic and acrylic paints. Late 2000, I bought some Crayola model magic clay, and I molded and crafted the first original Sonichu medallion that I wore around my neck, with a makeshift chain, which I later replaced with a better necklace I bought from Pacific Sunwear.
Pacific Sunwear, wow.
He would rarely be seen without it.
See, me and Chris Chan are close to the same age. Chris Chan's like a year younger than me. So we were, in our 20s at the same time.
The following year, he continued to develop the lore around Sonichu, which included creating an offspring for Rosechu called Rosie, and designing an Archie Comics cover for Sonic the Hedgehog vs. Sonichu. For his mother's 60th birthday, he made her a cake with Sonichu on it.
That's crazy.
In July,
Hey, Mom.
he filmed the City of Quickville tour using the stop-motion feature on his Game Boy camera. The town in question was his yet unfinished Quickville made of Lego. He still hadn't settled on a naming system yet, so he spells it in 2 different ways. First with an I, then with an I and a K. The tour is led by a Lego incarnation of Christian, and he shows 2 landmarks of the town, the water tower and go-kart pass, before the video abruptly ends, possibly due to the Game Boy camera only having the capacity to hold 30 frames at a time.
Yes.
In August.
Oh,
Christian got
Wendy's. Hey, me, King Cobra, Chris Chan have all worked at Wendy's. Ha!
a job at Wendy's. He was mostly in charge of cleaning trays, tables, and carpet tile flooring, keeping the place neat and serving the customers with kind, understanding help. He alleges that he never quite saw eye to eye with his supervisor, who disagreed with Chris's way of operating.
Oh my god.
According to one supposed event, he got his uniform dirty, and despite it being likely that he could have swapped with a clean spare at the establishment, he proceeded to continue to work with his sullied attire, and even attempted to wash it in the bathroom sink. According to Christian, a female coworker gave him a hard time, pelting him with criticisms and insults, perhaps mistaking her constructive criticisms for attacks against his person. He also admitted he took breaks frequently, neglecting other duties. Chris was fired from Wendy's in September or October 2001 for a number of possible reasons. One of the most popular motives for his dismissal was that he performed a Donald Duck impression to a child at the restaurant, bringing him to tears. In other accounts, he said that he was fired after he drew an unflattering caricature of an older female coworker. His termination was likely a culmination of these events. It was also around this time that Chris ended his weekly calls to Kelly. He gave conflicting reasons for this. He first stated that he suffered from noviophobia, a term he coined, which he defines as a fear of speaking to a woman who may already be in a relationship, which convinced him that his calls were in vain. Initially, Chris stated that he was told by his mother that Kelly most likely already had a boyfriend, so he might as well quit his attempts.
She's wearing a Sonichu thing.
But later, he changed his story, saying that he came to that realization all by himself. In other retellings, he said that he simply forgot to call her one weekend, and after he broke the routine, he didn't want to continue. On February 24th, 2003, Christian spent a tearful 21st birthday. For some reason, he was kicked out of English class by his male and possibly gay professor. Like many historical accounts of his life, he keeps changing the story. First, he said that the class was reading the book Wednesday's Child, which featured an autistic girl. He recounted that he told the professor that he was autistic as well, which resulted in a misunderstanding and Chris being forced to leave the class. Alternatively, he admitted to causing a disruption in class, writing in a report, exclamations you'd likely hear from a black person in church, which prompted his dismissal from the classroom. This ejection further increased his hate for men and gay men in general, and further convinced him of launching a pursuit to find true love. In order to meet whom he called a boyfriend-free girl, he launched his love quest. However, finding that one special person in his life wasn't going to be easy. Christian didn't feel like he had the confidence to approach women on his own volition.
Cut
due to
it
the infinitely
down!
high boyfriend factor. This term refers to the very high probability that any girl to whom he spoke already had a boyfriend, making it close to impossible to find his coveted boyfriend-free girl. By extension, every man who already had a girlfriend was thought of by Chris with seething loathing.
That's crazy.
With the infinitely high boyfriend factor, I'm not
the infinitely high boyfriend
fond of
factor.
about 99.99999999996% of the total male population, with a margin of error of the 4 billionth of a percent for about 100 men, of whom are okay acquaintances. Those doofs get all the luck, having a sweetheart to care for and to be cared from, getting all the hugs, kisses, and emotional support and the security of a solid future without loneliness and with love and children. And besides that, my autism is not much help on the programming of my mind.
Sigh.
Oh, my life. To combat his reluctance to approach prospective females, he devised a way in which women would approach him instead. The attraction sign. Christian created what he called an attraction sign, which was much like a personals ad, but in public. 21 and single white male.
This is so crazy. I couldn't have imagined seeing this.
Shy, smart, young at heart, computer skilled, humorous, a great thinker and go-getter.
Go-getter.
Natural salesperson.
Natural salesperson. It's like a weird resume.
Enjoys good parts of life. Diplomatic, friendly, loves his family, peaceful, very creative. He's lonely. Seeking a cute 18 to 21 single female companion, 18 to 21 years of age, does not already have a boyfriend.
I like single, average to slender weight body type. White. Must be white.
Single, average to slender weight body type. White. Lives in Charlottesville or Ruckersville area. Does not smoke or drink alcohol. Happy, positive personality.
So demanding.
Average high income. Drives a vehicle. If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. And to all men with girlfriends, except marrieds and blacks, go jump off a cliff.
Except marrieds and blacks.
Have a nice day. He would hang the sign up at the PVCC lobby and would stand or sit beside it in the hopes of attracting potential mates. Based on the attraction sign and later comments, it is clear that instead of finding the love of his life, his quest for a sweetheart was more of a quest to lose his virginity and to find a woman to mother him and financially support him. Just a couple of months into his love quest, Christian was met with an obstacle. Mary Lee Walsh.
Oh no! Mary Lee Walsh! She ends up becoming a villain in the Sonichu comic books.
Dean of Student Affairs, tore down his attraction sign and allegedly even tore it up in front of him. According to Chris, she yelled at him in a violent manner and said that his way of doing things would not get him a girlfriend. It is likely that Walsh may have, in fact, taken down his sign and told him that it was inappropriate, as his methods were akin to soliciting sex on campus. In any case, he was deeply disheartened by this event. It literally shattered my heart to almost nothing and murdered my soul.
Wow!
In response to this attack,
such an over-the-top response.
Christian made another sign, which was quickly removed in a similar fashion. This was to be the beginning of Christian's make-believe conflict with Mary Lee Walsh that will haunt him for most of his adult life.
So
as an act of catharsis, Christian wrote a poem called Saddest Heart in the World, in which he refers to Walsh in the most unkind of light. Lonesome and sad, the mastermind is very bad. In efforts of getting a boyfriend-free gal, that female dog took my only idea for a fall. Heartbroken, sad and very lonely, I may never remove my virginity. On April 10th, Chris wrote a short story called Sonichu and Rosechu, The Genesis of the Love Hogs. It establishes the origins of Sonichu and
Genesis
Rosechu,
of the Love
and also
Hogs.
incorporates elements from the Sonic the Hedgehog lore, such as the Chaos Emeralds. In addition, the story features a lovely Pokemon trainer. Her name was Kel, short for Kelly. He published it on his Sonichu site. In June, Christian found work as a salesperson for Cutco, a cutlery retailer.
Oh my god. That was
It
like
is
a pyramid
unknown whether
scheme.
he actually managed to sell any knives. Later testimonies prove that he was still in possession of unpurchased stock, holding onto some items more than a decade after he was employed. His tenure ended in August, when his boss left the Charlottesville area. In August, the newly formed band, Christian and the Hedgehog Boys, released their debut album. The band, which was led by Christian and also featured Sonic, Sonichu, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Black Sonichu, in fact only existed in Christian's head. The album entirely consisted of Christian singing melody-free vocals with original lyrics over existing songs being played in the background. His songs covered a range of topics, such as his search for love in So Need a Cute Girl, based on I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage.
Autism in AUTISM, sung over the Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life.
AUTISM, what does it mean?
And his Spanish skills in the Ricky Martin adaptation, La Cocina en la Casa de Casanova.
Estamos divertidos aquí, vamos con la música aquí.
Later that year, Chris wrote another poem, Sonichu's Ode to Rosechu, an attempt at depicting the romantic ties binding Sonichu and Rosechu. Oh Rosechu, you are as beautiful as a rose, though a zapbud is the flower that heals your woes. He once again reinstates his idealized views on relationships between men and women. If I evolve into your knight, I will protect you with my lance. Speed makes no difference, though you are slower than I. You dance in a field with such grace and style. Sigh. The poem closes with possibly the first utterance of a variant of Christian's commonly used term, sweetheart. Rosie, as often as birds tweet, will you be my lovely heart sweet? In October of 2003, Christian reunited with his childhood friend, Sarah, for her birthday. For the special occasion, he made her a present, a hand-drawn comic book detailing the complete history of their life together, entitled Chris plus Sarah's Life Shares. It is from this work of literature that the majority of their interactions with each other has come to be known, including Sarah's supposed childhood bullying, which then 21-year-old Chris completely neglects. Like most of his creative attempts, it is self-centered, bragging about his accomplishments concerning Sonichu. He also talks about her personal life, including her relationship with her boyfriend. As of sometime before July 2000, Sarah has been living with her boyfriend, Wes Isley, a magician who does parties.
A magician who does parties.
With hope for the future. A special note from Christian to Sarah. I hope that we can hang together sometime, but for now and forever, we will always be good friends. To return the sentiment, Sarah decided to spend Christmas with the Chandlers, which delighted Chris.
Nintendo.
On November 22nd, 2003, Christian filmed a documentary of his activities in the game Animal Crossing on the Nintendo GameCube, which he then sent to Nintendo for consideration. Chris narrates this hour-long tour of two of his self-made towns, Quickville and Quick City. Since the documentary features a video game player narrating his activities while playing a game, this possibly makes Chris the first ever Let's Player in the modern understanding of the word.
Hello, Nintendo. Welcome to my Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. I am your host. My name is Christian Weston Chandler. I live in Ruckersville, Virginia. And I is 21 years old. I play because I'm young at heart. So anyway, we're going to take a tour of my city.
Like everything he produces, it includes Sonichu.
So anyway, stepping out is my character, Sonichu. He's wearing the clothes with the character on it. Like I said, you might remember his face. There's his actual face. You remember the rest of his body, you see the whole picture.
Chris performs a spontaneous rendition of Yellow is a Mellow Color off the Sonic and the Hedgehog Boys album.
Yellow is a mellow color. Yes, it is a mellow color. Sonichu's zaps the lightning. And mellow color. Yeah.
He also treats the audience with a performance of So Need a Cute Girl.
Tell me why I'm stuck as a virgin with rage. Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age. Tell me why I ain't never hear you say I have a boyfriend. And that was inspired by a real thing.
He previews the in-game diary that he keeps.
As for a monthly journal entry here in November, yeah, I tried to get a girlfriend because I don't have a girlfriend. But I have made up a poem. Let you guys read it. Alright. Scroll down a little bit as we go along. It's a very good poem because I am an artist as well as a poet. I make a rhyme every time.
He proceeds to give a tour of his bedroom.
This is my bedroom. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? Because I like to make things fun since you know I'm young.
He likes to make things fun.
As he unwittingly transfers his hoarding habits into a virtual environment, his bedroom in Animal Crossing closely replicates his real-life counterpart. Chris goes outside and comes across several characters who all seem to run back indoors at the very sight of him.
Around here, I want to show you my favorite character that I kind of got to know it from the start. Oop, she just went in. There's Aunt Cootie. She just went in. And there's Elmer. He just went in.
He then travels to his house on Quickville Island to reveal that he mostly uses the property for extra storage.
I use mine as storage for the extra items I don't have room for at home. Yeah, I got a bunch.
He reasserts his brand loyalty for Nintendo and decries their competitors.
Speaking of which, you should make this Sonic Heroes should be Nintendo GameCube exclusive because Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Xbox.
My opinion is the same as yours. They both stink.
Xbox.
Yeah, I do not even own them. I don't even want them. That goes double for the PS1 as well. But if you want to know my game systems, I had my GameCube for about almost a year and a half now. Got it on May 31st, 2002. I got your SNES, Nintendo 64, NES. I got the Genesis.
You're spoiled.
301 with the original Genesis, 32X, and Sega CD, as well as Sega Dreamcast, and the Sega Saturn. So I got mostly all of them. I've been a Sonic fan forever, and that's why I'm glad that Sonic came to Nintendo.
He mentions that he likes to keep his surroundings clean by picking weeds.
Oh, we look at this. There's a weed. I pick weeds. Keeps my town clean, as well as Quick City.
He also likes to keep active.
Another weed. Why you know about that? I usually like to run. It keeps me going faster.
He introduces the viewers to his character, Crystal.
Anyway, this is Crystal. She's wearing the Rose Chew look. There's a zap button on the door.
The Rose Chew look.
Rose Chew's mug right here.
Near the end, Chris proclaims that he is high-functioning autistic.
And to answer the all-important question, what is the meaning of HFA with the two red eyes? I will tell you. Got that? That means high functionally autism because that's what I am. I'm functionally
HFA.
autistic.
AHFA all day, every day.
I can do a lot of things. I mean, otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this documentary I'm doing right now. But anyway, for the submission of Nintendo Power, this has been a documentary narrated by Christian Weston Chandler. Thank you very much, and I hope that you will consider this for publication. Bye now.
Christian started 2004 with a New Year's resolution to find a girlfriend. On January 3rd, he drew a Sonichu comic strip, which also featured Rosechu and Black Sonichu. This was the first time he included his characters in an illustrated storytelling setting. On the 6th, he went to get an eye exam. The optometrist in question happened to be Dr. David Chandler, Chris's brother from Bob's first marriage, who informed him for the first time that he had an 8-year-old niece named Savannah. On January 18th, he wrote Hard Love Quest, a poem concerning his difficulties in finding a boyfriend-free girl. Without girlfriend love, he feels an older age, as he is still stuck as a virgin with rage. He searched low and high to the
Stuck
end.
as a
the only
virgin
delay
with
is the fear of being already beaten by a boyfriend. On January 31st, Christian wrote in his diary, "Well, it's the end of another month, and I still don't have a girlfriend. Maybe my latest idea, the Sonichu's News Dash newsletter, will make the ladies take notice of me."
That will not.
The
No, that
newsletter
will
in
not
question
work.
was an outlet for Christian's creative ideas concerning Sonichu and his poetry. Issue
That's not
1
gonna make
featured a
women
couple of
notice you.
skits starring Sonichu, the poem Saddest Heart in the World, and a personal ad for himself, which was not unlike his attraction sign. Christian is a very shy and very thoughtful person and will only accept person-to-person encounters. When getting his attention, approach and say hi to him. Do not flirt from a distance. He will not be able to notice. To find Christian, he'll be wearing the Sonichu medallion. In addition to posting a digital copy onto his website, he distributed printed copies of the newsletter around PVCC campus as an alternative to his attraction sign. This must have caught the attention
Oh yeah,
of Mary Lou
thank you,
Walt.
Anne. $14.95. It's always $14.95. I should do an old school stupid ads segment, maybe later tonight. But yeah, I would like that. Because $14.95 was always my go-to guess for pretty much every product.
Who issued a cease and desist order. In an email dated February 1st, Chris tried to settle out of court. "Mary, I've slept on it, and I've realized that note hanging is not the way to get attention. And I don't really want to meet with either you nor Susan. No offense. I'll tell you what, let's forget the meeting, and if you will allow my newsletter to stay in distribution, I will do all of the following. I will never hang notes on the wall again. I'll consider stopping my silent treatment on Susan. I'll consider knocking you and Susan up my scale of respect each by 2 points. 0 equals no respect, 10 equals respect." Walsh replied and insisted that they meet the following week. On February 9th, Christian recounted the events of that meeting. Mary Lee Walsh made it illegal to distribute the news dash. "I am very angry at that XXXXX. In response, I plan to incite the masses and hope they demand the return of the news dash so my chances on getting a girlfriend can be restored. I have also declared war on them as well." It was allegedly during this meeting where he performed his Curse-Ye-Ha-Me-Ha attack.
Curse
which consisted of Chris mimicking the hand motion of an attack move from the anime series Dragon Ball Z and cursing people into experiencing bad luck. However, it is not certain whether he was inspired by the original occurrence of the Kamehameha or its parody featured in another anime, Excel Saga, to which Chris has definitely been exposed. In March, Chris claimed that the kerfuffle concerning Walsh got his parents upset too. "That XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh got on my and my parents' nerves. All I'd been doing was trying to get a girlfriend. Is that too much to ask? I am very devastated due to my shattered heart that XXXXX caused unto me. My life sucks. Completely disregarding her demands, he published issue 3 of Sonichu's News Dash, with most of the content themes remaining unaltered. However, his requirements for a boyfriend-free girl were tweaked a little bit. He was now looking for 18 to 22-year-olds, since he had just turned 22 himself. In May of 2004, Nintendo Power magazine published an article highlighting Christian's Animal Crossing video, referring to Chris only as Sonichu. Simply amazing. There's no other way to describe what we've received from Sonichu of Quickville, a full video documentary that walked us through his daily life. His opulent manor contained every manner of furniture. Quickville's landscape was filled to the bursting point with all the animals who'd moved to his well-tended town. And Sonichu has customized everything about his town.
It's interesting how the people who are nice to Chris Chan always end up regretting it more than the people who bully him.
That is a fair point. That does happen. I mean, Isabella Janke was fake nice to Chris Chan to earn his trust, but then wanted to do horrific things, but then ended up regretting it. I don't know.
Many villagers have followed his bold trends, wearing the patterns he has created. This apparently got the attention of PVCC's newspaper, The Forum, which featured Christian and Sonichu in an exclusive report. PVCC student Christian Chandler has dedicated many hours to his pastime.
Potato farmer. Although I toil the soil with plow and cow, no one will ever know me, no. Just saying.
You're a potato farmer? I doubt it. I doubt it.
He is the creator of Sonichu, the electric hedgehog
I don't know, maybe
Pokemon.
you are a potato farmer.
Like Sonic,
I don't know what the
Sonichu
soil's like there for the potatoes.
Can run at high speeds. During Supersonic's battle against the perfect chaos monster, Sonic Adventure DX for GameCube, Supersonic was spat out by the monster and collided with a bystanding Pikachu, Chandler explained. According to the story, the power from the Chaos Emeralds transformed Pikachu into Sonichu. Chandler and the world he created for Sonichu were featured in the May 2004 issue of Nintendo Power. The place is called Quickville. The Quick prefix are his initials, Christian Weston Chandler. Nintendo Power was apparently impressed with Chandler's work. During all this rigmarole, he continued to publish his news dash, but he updated his personal contact information to include a link to his Match.com profile, which he created to aid in his love quest. It was also around this time that he opened a MySpace account. I enjoy drawing, listening to music.
Is a popular and traditional side dish in Denmark, enjoyed especially at Christmas.
Okay. And do you farm them? Or do you just consume them? See, here, a lot of the potatoes come from Idaho because they have volcanic soil, which I guess makes the potatoes grow better.
Playing video games, and TCG. I also like anime, Legos, and I love my parents. I also enjoy web design. He proceeds to list all the gaming consoles in his possession, finishing with the Pokemon catchphrase, "Gotta catch 'em all." Interestingly, he listed his occupation as student/cartoonist. He explores his most desperate desires in his blurb. I am a bit shy, but I would enjoy the company of a beautiful girl who likes some of the things I do. I also like to have fun when I can, and I don't really like to be alone. I graduated from high school on the honor roll, and I'm doing very well at PVCC. A lot of men make false promises to their girlfriends, but I am totally different. When it comes to what I can offer, I can seriously promise care, respect, empathy, and love. I think that most girls deserve the world, and I would do my best to give it to them. In May 2004, he attended the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention for the first time, where he met notable voice actress Monica Rial. She also sings opera very nicely, and she is a very nice, fun, and sweet person to hang around with. She sure made my day a sweet one. In Sonichu's News Dash issue 5, he introduces 3 new Sonichu characters. Christian Sonichu, based on himself, Wesley Sonichu, his quote-unquote rival,
Denmark is a
who's
leading
based on
potato
Sarah Hammer's
producer
board.
in Northern Europe, with a well-established tradition of high-quality cultivation supported by favorable conditions such as a cool, temperate climate, long summer days, and sandy, well-drained soils.
Ooh, long summer days. How long does the summer last up there? But yeah, that's interesting. Did you copy paste that?
Friend Wes Isley and Sarah Hammer Rose Chu, obviously named after Sarah herself. In June,
I guess I need to get some Danish potatoes up in here.
Celebrate the 24-year wedding anniversary of his parents. Chris made them a present, a dramatic retelling of the family's life via Animal Crossing. Through this videographic endeavor, he delves deep into the family's history.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
This is my little present for y'all. A little documentary for y'all. Here in Animal Crossing for Nintendo GameCube. About how y'all were and how you are now and so forth. So, take a trip back in time with me, won't you? As we explore how
But
each
enough
of you
about
were.
potatoes from Google AI. Can I be your Pokemon trainer, Ben?
Sure. I don't know much about Pokemon, but yeah, you can keep me in a weird little ball, and when you get into a battle, you can unleash me. I guess I can try. I'll try my best.
Of course, first we'll travel back in time to the time of good old Robert Franklin Chandler Jr. He was a hip youngster back in his day. Let's take a look inside his chateau and see what describes him as him. He collects records, and he's got lots of them. He's got so many shelves. You might call him a record case. Yeah.
Chris reveals that Bob has Cherokee ancestry.
He was born in Cherokee in Texas. Actually, he was like 1/16 Cherokee. But that's why we have this totem pole here. This Chinese lion here. That's he's been to Korea for war in World War II, I believe it was. And he got Conduct Medal of Honor. That's what this is right here.
He performs the same type of tour for Barbara.
But back there, she went to school, and she worked hard. And see these shirt here, that's her school colors, blue and white, because back in high school, she was a cheerleader. Bum bum, fist boom ba, yay yay, la la la. Hell yeah, she likes the old stuff as well, so she's got a little tea set here. And we got a kitchen, fridge, and a stove. Here's a little fan to keep cool with. Keep food in this little
Did you know Chris Chan voiced a cat in the recent game Eugenics? You can also get
No!
as one of the 1,300 cats in the game.
I had no idea. That's crazy. Eugenics?
Turn your fucking audio off.
Turn it off, Jumbo! Turn it off! I love you, Brett. You're like a father to me.
Turn your fucking audio off.
We're so close to 80%. And if anybody else wants to help keep the tip train running, I appreciate you all. This is amazing. We've gotten pretty far.
And she keeps her brooms and mops in the old closet here. Although somebody brought the mop, somebody wanted to clean up. You put your garbage in the garbage can. And this is the sad part. In some places now, in very few houses nowadays, but what happened in the old days, the bathroom was in the same room as the kitchen. But luckily, we always remember to wash our hands with soap and water. Yeah.
Good.
That's just in the days of old. Nowadays, she does have a private bathroom. Yeah.
Chris explains how his parents first met.
They met over at May's pub, see. Yeah. Mom was just sitting down with her friend. She was watching Bobby sing up here. And well, she really liked his singing, so as father put it, she went up to him and then as he passed by, changed the thermostat. Yeah. Anyway, she chased him down the hallway and cornered him. And then after that, they just talked. They just talked things out, and they got to know each other, found common things. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lovely wed wife, to love and hold and cherish and to honor?
I do.
And do you, Barbara, take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to love and cherish and to honor forever?
I do.
I now pronounce you man and wife, you may kiss the bride. Whoopee!
After reenacting their wedding, Christian introduces himself into the picture.
But anyway, when first comes love, then comes marriage, then they come along with their baby carriage, and that's where I came in. Born in February 1982 was me.
He gives himself a tour of his own room
So anyway, this is my bedroom.
and then returns to Bob's room.
As a little retribution for...
Thank you for thank you, Caitlin from Exclusive. No, I don't think you're Caitlin from Exclusive, right?
We're gonna play a little number on the jukebox here. But since we don't have side-by-side on recording, we're gonna play Sitting Under the Apple Tree.
He proceeds to let the 1942 song Don't Sit Under the Apple Tree play in full.
And there you have a nice little blast from the past. And now for my mom and dad, a little something special for this video. This is my way of saying happy anniversary to y'all. Coming up next.
The video cuts to a drawing made with Mario paint, which says, "To Mom and Dad, happy anniversary. Thank you both for my birth. Love, Christian C." In July, Chris began going to the Charlottesville Fashion Square, attraction sign in hand, to seek out fellow mates. Evidently, his current practice did not yield promising results, as in a diary entry dated August 1st, he announced, "Well, it's another month. Still no girlfriend. But I have a new idea that I am sure will reel in a girlfriend on a fateful red string." The idea concerning red string consisted of Christian tying a red string to a paper heart on which "Pick me up and bring me to my owner" was written. The significance of using a red string was most likely a reference to its appearance in the anime Excel Saga, and is a well-known symbol in many Asian cultures. Christian would throw the heart at prospective partners and hope that they would pick up the heart and follow.
You pretend to be Caitlin from Exclusive. I see.
The red string leading back to him. It cannot be determined how successful this strategy could have been, because just 4 days after he employed the red string of fate, a mall security guard, which Chris referred to as a jerk-off.
A jerk-off! So those are like mall security guards that Chris would get in trouble with.
Put an end to it. In August, Chris shifted focus away from Pokemon and centered his attention on Yu-Gi-Oh!, a similarly themed card game. He began making his own custom cards and attended his first Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament at the game place, where he met Megan Schroeder.
Megan Schroeder.
Over the months of getting to know
Big
Megan,
crush.
I grew fond of her. Although at that time, and up to
I like
now,
how she's looking
she wasn't
away from
interested
him.
in a lovely relationship. I've bided to her wishes and requests. I am truly fond of her. Since he and Megan had Yu-Gi-Oh! As a common interest, Christian only intensified his obsession with the game, creating more and more custom Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, with one depicting Crystal, Christian's make-believe female twin. He also designed a girlfriend's gift card, on which the illustrated girlfriend looks suspiciously like the sister. On September 4th.
Yeah, I looked up Exclusive, and I do believe it is a dispensary.
Christian reflected on his love quest so far. While I was at the mall for the 8th week today, I realized something. Since I have been using a sign to state my being single and lonesome towards an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free woman, I, in the event, was trying to sell myself like a new car. 2 days later, Chris's love quest was interrupted by a jerk-cop. I told that jerk-cop off when I pulled some of my fun cards and told my lonesome virgin story, intimidated him, and shouted no into his face. In short, today was my Independence Day, but I am still alone. On September 11th, his search for love took a turn for the worst. I was not bothering anyone at the mall today while I was trying to sell myself, when I got arrested for trying. I fortunately did not go to jail, but I have been stripped of my right to go to the mall by myself. I would be required to bring my mom or dad with me. My independence and my soul were practically murdered. Chris's run of misfortune climaxed when only 5 days later, the school board of PVCC suspended him for 1 year. My dad is bloodthirsty for revenge as well. He's going to write to US President George W. Bush Jr. and Laura Bush to help me get allowed back to PVCC. We all cursed to death upon that.
He got kicked out of his high school, and now he's gotten kicked out of college. And last time, they just moved to another town. This is very interesting.
At XXXXX Mary Lee Walsh. In conjunction with his suspension, he was required to take anger management classes, get a psychological evaluation, and receive social skills counseling. 10 days after the event, he lamented over his inability to go to PVCC or the mall, and confessed that he would be asking for a girlfriend this Christmas. Despite his bans from the college and the Fashion Square, he decided to continue with his search for a boyfriend-free girl, but relocated to the University of Virginia's campus to do so. However, this move wasn't for long, as Christian was allowed back to the Fashion Square in November. Regardless, he went back to UVA for a different kind of engagement, in the form of a mandatory psychiatric evaluation. There are more of such documented examinations in existence, but this is the only one so far which has been made public. Mr. Chandler says that since finishing high school and starting at PVCC in the year 2000, he has had an increasing interest in a female companion. His attempts at this ultimately led to his suspension from college. His attempt took the form of a sign which he placed next to himself while sitting in the lobby at Piedmont. This sign was a list of qualifications that a potential girlfriend would have. He said that he has been very frustrated by his inability to find a girlfriend, and he suffers from noviophobia. This refers to his frustration that females often tell him that they already have a boyfriend. While he does have physical attraction
he's a
towards
virgin with
females,
rage.
His primary frustration is with his lack of companionship. The report mentions his medical record and earlier evaluations. He has already undergone psychological evaluation by Robin Hawks at the Center of Learning Potential. The recommendation concerning Mr. Chandler's emotional status is that he seek psychiatric and psychological treatment. The psychologist felt that counseling and medication would possibly address his obsessive thought pattern and assist him with social skills. She also recommended anger management training. The analysis also comments on Christian's appearance and demeanor in the session. The patient is a mildly overweight white male, wearing blue jeans and a shirt. He was also wearing a makeshift necklace that has a large plastic medallion in the shape of a Pokemon character's head. He also had a number of shrinky-dink decorations attached to this necklace. He had a large backpack that he carried with him, and had a notebook containing a large number of drawings. His speech was somewhat nasal, with frequent awkward laughing during his sentences. His speech was fluent. His responses were appropriate to the questions posed to him.
His speech was fluent? That's a stretch.
The volume of his speech was slightly elevated, although his tone was generally pleasant and almost jovial. His thought processes were linear and logical. He was somewhat concrete, especially regarding social interactions. He seemed to have a good insight into his limitations. The attending physician offers up his final verdict. Folstein's score was 30 out of 30, with his sentence being, "Uncle Spunky is a really funky monkey." Mr. Chandler is a 22-year-old man with a history of developmental delays and autism. Despite these limitations, he seems to have been quite successful in maximizing his academic abilities. He is left, however, with a severe degree of social awkwardness, and seems to have good insight into this. He is left feeling somewhat frustrated, as he has a strong desire for companionship, although his social limitations prevent him from being able to realize this in the way which he would like. The patient doesn't seem to pose a significant threat to himself or anyone else. After the evaluation, Chris carried on with life, much like before, with neither him nor his parents making any significant effort to change his ways. But Christmas was soon approaching, and maybe Santa would bring him a girlfriend like he wished, who could right all his wrongs and change his life for the better.
Bong, bing, bong, bing, bong. And that is the end of part 2, and we will do part 3. I appreciate you guys helping me move the tip goal. The tip goal is through Streamlabs. If you want to help move the goal, there's a link pinned in the top of the chat. You can use Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, that sort of thing. All of that works through that. So I I'm going to do a quick bathroom run, and then I'll come right back, and then we'll watch part 3. All right? So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back in just a moment here.
You don't know what hard
Shit, wrong
times
one.
are, Daddy. Hard times is when you on a 6-year dry spell, and you've been crafting wands all day
Hold on,
and accepting PayPal donations. And you sit down
played
to
the
order
wrong
yourself
thing.
some DoorDash Kentucky Fried Chicken, only
That's
to realize
hard times,
you took away
baby.
the double down. That's hard time. And that is exactly what is wrong with today's society. As soon as they come up with a menu item like the KFC Double Down or the Chicken Cheddar Chalupa from Taco Bell, they take it away. That's hard times.
All right.
And KFC.
All right,
you
now
put
for
hard
real this
times
time, I'll be back.
On the sexy goth bad boy.
right, here's part 3.
What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Chris Chan.
Hello, my name is Christian Chandler, age 22 at this time. I will be 23 on February 24th, 2005. Anyway, for over a year now, I've been trying to attract an 18 to 22-year-old boyfriend-free girl, 18 to 21 before February 24th, 2004, which is this year. Anywho, been trying for over a year to attract a girl, boyfriend-free girl, and I have failed. And you know, when you have so many failures at this time, you can't help but feel sad, you know, and depressed. Yeah, here it is about Christmas time, and well, all I want for Christmas is a boyfriend-free girl.
Chris prepares for Christmas 2004 by singing 2 of his songs for the camera. He performs So Need a Cute Girl,
Tell me why I so need a cute girl my age.
followed by All I Want for Christmas is a Pretty Girlfriend.
All I want for Christmas is a girlfriend. She has to be 18 to 22. Well, at this time of year, all I can say right now is that I hope Santa will comply with my request and bring me a pretty girlfriend. And so, happy holidays from me, Christian Chandler. By the way, you can call me Chris in public. And thank you.
Christian whipped his camera out for Christmas Day too, and documented the state of the house at that time.
'Twas Christmas Day, and all through the house, the creatures that were stirring were my family and me and our 2 cats. And we wander upon our wondrous Christmas tree with a star that was made so delicately.
The star on top of the tree is in fact Sonichu. Chris reveals that his dreams were dashed that day.
And a Christmas present that was supposed to be for the girlfriend that Santa brought, but unfortunately, she didn't show.
Chris introduces his audience to his parents.
And now we wander in on my family. Say hello, Father.
Father?
Yeah,
Making our Christmas movie.
I see you're wasting your chip.
Well, I'm gonna put it onto VHS anyway.
I see. All
A smaller Christmas tree down here.
Look at how cluttered their house is. They lived in a hoarding house. Like, it was just packed with garbage.
And our mothers sleep here in a dark area. Would you care to share a Merry Christmas with the world, Father?
Ho, ho, ho.
The tour puts a spotlight on the extent of the hoarding situation in the house, as Chris visibly has trouble navigating through the hoard.
Care to say something to the entire world?
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
After the tour, Chris documents the gift exchange, revealing the interpersonal dynamics of the family.
Okay, yeah, it's recording. So, here we are around the Christmas tree. We're gonna open presents.
Hooray, hooray.
Hooray,
Chris
hooray.
presents Bob with a card.
Hi,
Am I supposed to read it?
Yes, read it.
Am I supposed to read it out loud?
Yeah. Read to Mom.
God, he's so old and tired. This was a while ago, too.
I want to thank you all for your support and love throughout my fantastic love quest.
Love quest.
And if Santa doesn't bring me one, no Chris, no Thomas. Like I asked him, then I'm going to need some support finding a boyfriend free. It'll come, Christian. Hope you all like my presents.
Okay.
Today I'm thinking of Christmas.
No, his father is not still alive.
You all. Merry Christmas, Christian C.
Yep.
Christian gives Bob the option of receiving the puppet TV show Fraggle Rock on DVD or on VHS. After Christian discreetly implies that he wants to keep the DVD for himself, Bob caves in and chooses to take the VHS.
Yes.
So you want the VHS?
Yeah.
Oh
There
my
you go.
god.
I'm not much for the other.
DVD. Why do we have it on both? I gave him a choice, remember? You remember he originally wanted DVD? Yeah, it's Fraggle Rock, Father. That's what's on there.
I see.
Everything that's on
Rock.
DVD is on that VHS.
VHS works better than my system.
Yeah.
Chris presents Barbara with a Lego set.
A Lego set. He gave his mom a Lego set for Christmas.
He gives her a plush doll of the Japanese character Hamtaro.
Look at you, Hamtaro. That's cute. Yeah.
Who is he?
It's a Hamtaro. He's a little hamster. He's a little bitty hamster.
The family discussed the possibility of a surprise visit from Sarah.
Oh, that's my present for Sarah. Because, you know, she might come over. Well, she did last year, remember?
Chris attempts at an embrace with his mother, but ends up hurting her instead.
Here, oops, I'm sorry. Don't break my head. I'm sorry.
He does it again.
2 boxes together here. I'm sorry.
Chris gives Barb another present. A snow globe with him in it.
Snow globe. With me in it. Merry Christmas, Robert. It's also got Sancho in it. Look. See? You know, one side Sancho on the other.
I have decided to become your Pokemon trainer, Ben.
Thank you.
Until you prove your worth, you will share your Pokeball
No! No! He said he thinks I'm cute. I don't want to be tracked in a Pokeball with that guy. All right?
The guy over at Walmart. The snow globe.
Now we're at 80%. Thank you so much.
Cool. Yeah, that's neat. Merry Christmas. Yep, Merry Christmas. Now we can go back downstairs where it's warm.
Snappy New Year.
Yeah, Snappy
Now
New
go back downstairs where it's warm. Their heat must have... They lived in an old house. Their house caught on fire at one point, too.
Year, huh?
Not on the couch.
After the gift unwrapping,
he did buy them stuff he wanted. It's true.
Christian went back to his room to record a video recapping the events.
Well, now this ends our family Christmas of 2004. I did get some nice gifts, but it does not compare to having a boyfriend-free girl that I can make it to a girlfriend. But unfortunately, I was hoping for her to come, but she didn't. My lifelong friend, Sarah Hammer.
Sarah Hammer.
She had not
Sarah
been paired up with
MC
that
Hammer.
jerk Wes Isley. I could have her, but seriously though, I wish she was here so that I could talk to her and so she could help me in my quest to get a boyfriend-free 18, 22-year-old girl. 1823 as of February 24th, 2005. Well, anyway, that pretty much sums up my Christmas season for this year, so, as they say in showbiz.
It's weird how he would go from 18 to whatever age he was. Like, he wasn't interested in anybody slightly older than him.
Bye, folks.
As he entered 2005, Christian continued his tried-and-true tradition of pacing around the mall, hoping to attract a boyfriend-free girl. His activities quickly caught the eye of Anna McLaren, an employee of Pack & Son at Charlottesville.
But then we knew he ended up interested in someone much older than him, right?
Fashion Square, who described her encounter with him in a blog post titled The Tale of the Crazy Pacer. There was a guy who paced in front of Abercrombie & Fitch. He'd come and do it for hours on end, just walking back and forth. He was an okay-looking guy, not evil-looking like creepy molester
Very
dude.
much older.
So he would pace for his allotted time, then leave. Sometimes, as he paced, he would sing or shout. Nobody really could ever tell what he was saying. Oh yeah, and he always wore the same shirt. A nice little long-sleeved red and blue number that had a gold crest on the left side, and white collar and cuffs. Then, one day, he decided to start pacing on the Pac Sun side, so he started pacing in front of our store. We were doing floor set, and Lin noticed that crazy pacer kept looking into Pac Sun as he paced. And this day, he was acting particularly crazy. He'd pace and pace, then stop and shout something at the wall, then keep pacing. And he also did some singing, even getting into the vibrato falsetto junks. It was hilarious. So anyways, someone, I can't remember who, suggested that the next time he looked in, we wave at him. So they waved, and Christian waved back. After some waving back and forth, Christian took the initiative and entered the store. He came right up to the counter that I was standing behind, and he looks right at me, all fidgety and twitchy, and he goes, "You look to be about 19 years old, right?" He then proceeded to introduce himself. "My name is Christian," he said, "but you can call me Chris. I'm Christian W. Chandler." "Oh," I said. "Hi, Chris." "So," he continued, "do angels have names?"
Oh man, he's been waiting to use that pickup line.
Found out later that he meant to say, "Do angels like you have names?" Poor guy was so nervous, he didn't get it right. Anna introduces herself, then Chris talks about eyes. "My eyes are two different colors. One of them is green and the other is blue. That's because I had pink eye a while back and one of them stayed that way. What color are your eyes?" I was pretty grossed out by the pink eye story.
Yeah!
But I told him anyway. Sometimes blue, sometimes green, and usually gray. "Oh, that's neat. It's funny how that happens, isn't it?" "Yeah," I said. He attempts to ask her out, but Anna declines. He eventually settles on the internet as a forum for future communication between them. Christian came back and handed me a card with a crudely drawn Sonic the Hedgehog and some other yellow Sonic-looking creature on it, along with Christian's name, email address, and website. It was a homemade business card. "That's my email address, and you can just email me sometime, okay?" "Okay," I said, not intending to email him at all. Little did either of them know, but this was the start of a friendship. But for the time being, Chris's contact with Anna was sparse. In February, Cartoon Network's Adult Swim block held a contest which asked viewers to make their own commercial advertising the release of the cartoon series Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, Volume 1 DVD set. Christian sent in his own unique take, in which he mentions his ongoing feud with Mary Lee Walsh.
Hello, I hired Harvey Birdman, attorney at law, to help me, Christian Weston Chandler, in my case against Mary Lee Walsh, who years ago shared my heart. And he has won the case for me, and we have won for me a Harvey Birdman 2-disc DVD box set, which comes out April 12, 2005.
He finishes with a brief promotion of his custom cards depicting himself and Sonichu.
It's about Christian Chandler Sonichu production.
Regrettably, the winning entry did not feature Chris. In response, he vented his frustration at losing on the Adult Swim message board. "My entry was very dramatic, and a lot better than that piece of poo, or any of the others that made the top 5 as well. I'm very upset about that. My Quick's Harvey Birdman spot was the best, and I feel sorry for you, Adult Swim, for not noticing that. You all should take another good look at it, and seriously reconsider." In March, Christian published Sonichu Issue 0, his first full-length comic. The issue is further divided into episodes, much like a television show, with a different story in each one. Episode 1 begins in an open field 5 miles from the city of Station Square, in which a wild Pikachu observes fighting in the distance between Supersonic and the Perfect Chaos Monster. Pikachu gets caught in the scuffle and collides with Sonic, the impact releasing a rainbow which lands on a girl Raichu 15 miles away, who then transforms into a hedgehog-like creature and calls herself Rosechu. Meanwhile,
I have
the
transformed!
Pikachu somehow inherited Supersonic's powers and changed form, and joins Sonic in the battle, defeating the Perfect Chaos Monster. He christens himself Sonichu. Christian himself interjects here and there. He draws himself having one blue and one green eye, as he had told Anna. His eyes are in fact different colors, but the difference is nowhere near as profound as in his illustrations. He then proceeds to introduce Quickville, and reveals that he is also the mayor of said town. He then goes on to introduce all the main characters of the story, including Mary Lee Walsh. He saves himself for last, and devotes a full page to talk about Christian Weston Chandler. The next episode concerns Sonichu and Rosechu meeting and quickly falling in love, sharing a kiss underneath a spray of fireworks. In episode 3, Sonichu confesses that he has a dislike for pickles, as does Christian in real life. This is followed by the introduction of the evil foe, Natesurk, whose name is simply Christian, backwards. After the battle is won, Mayor Chandler drives off in his car, carrying the Virginia vanity plate, Sonichu, identical to the one on his real-life car. It should be noted that Sonichu refers to Chris as his father, even though his creation has nothing to do with Christian. The comic ends with a sub-episode starring Chris in a story based on his run-in with the mall police. However, in this version, he clutches his medallion, says Electric Hedgehog Power, and transforms into Chris Chan Sonichu, who largely looks like a blue-colored Sonichu, making him look like the original Sonic the Hedgehog. Meanwhile, the Jerkop equips metal armor. Needless to say, Chris defeats him by cursing him into experiencing horrendous bad luck by using his Curse Yehameha attack. Towards the end of March, Hannah, who worked at Starbucks in the Fashion Square, approached Christian during his near-daily pacing and asked him out on a date. After she left, I became very excited and oh my god all over. After calling mom and eating me nuggets, I lifted the chair with such cheer and grace and spun around with it like a dancer. Then I put it back where it was. I felt that my love quest had finally come to an end, and I so elated that my shattered heart had a full, fast recovery. I went to Starbucks, and we talked about basic things. I showed her my Sonichu scrapbook. She was very impressed. I gave her my email and both my phone numbers on a Sonichu site card, and she gave me her email address. I was very attentive as I took notes about her and maintained eye contact. As I left her, I gave her a double-take flirt. That was the rise, now here comes the fall. As I was sitting at my spot, thinking about future steps for later dates, Anna and Dana told me they went to talk to Hannah. She told them that she was setting me up in a prank. I could not believe
Anna
it,
and Dana
so I found
and Hannah?
asked Hannah. Sadly, it was true. Then in major shock, my heart shattered again by 85%, and I let out a big no. His outburst of negation resulted in Chris getting banned from the mall again. He devoted the second sub-episode to this misadventure.
Oh no.
Not long after, he completed his second Sonichu comic, Sonichu Issue 1. Pokemon's Giovanni teams up with Sonic villain Dr. Robotnik to create their own Sonichu in order to defeat the real thing. Unfortunately, a blunder causes Sonichu's DNA sample to get corrupted with cherry cola, producing an imperfect replica of our hero, called Black Sonichu, also known as Blotchu. Blotchu captures Rosechu, so Sonichu and Sonic team up to rescue her. After combating Blotchu and the new Metal Sonichu, they eventually save Rosechu. The style of the comic became more text-heavy, with some conversations so convoluted that Chris numbered the lines in the order that they should be read. The following month, Chris's review for Sprung, a dating simulation game for Nintendo DS, was published in Nintendo Power. I originally bought the game because I needed some lessons on what to say to, or do for, a girl. To make a long story short, I developed a fear that all the pretty girls are already paired up with a boyfriend. I've dubbed this social phobia noiophobia, after the Spanish word for boyfriend. Anyway, before Sprung, I was afraid to approach most women. FYI, I am 22 years old. I tried to silently attract
That's
a boyfriend.
crazy how there were several published letters in Nintendo Power.
Free girl, mostly with signs, for over 1 year and 4 months. Then Sprung provided me with general things to say and do, so I felt more confident. When I tried my newfound expressions from the dating simulator, I forgot my fear of the infinitely high boyfriend factor, and I met a couple of lady friends with whom I feel more comfortable. So thank you Nintendo and Ubisoft for the dating advice that this frustrated virgin needed. Christian C.
I can't believe they published that.
On April 13th, a University of Virginia student wrote a blog post that included her observations of Christian, whom she renamed Sonichu, hanging around the Alderman Library. So Sonichu returned to Alderman today. I'm not sure what to make of him. He sits in his chair and draws his Sonichu comics. Harmless, I ask me. Yet I feel like he knows he's different. He knows that the world rushing in front of him is not his own, surrounded by the brightest students in America, whatever that means. He sits in his chair and draws. 23 years old. I'm not sure he even graduated high school. In front of him, texts of Plato, Faulkner, God, and Kleist's swirl. Does he have the capacity to understand these works? Whether he can or not, I am not sure. But there is something in his eyes that realizes that there is a level of understanding and thought that he is unable to partake in. As he slumps lower and lower in his chair, with each student he eyes reading or holding a book, he falls into himself. into the markers and colors on the page in front of him. He seems intelligent enough to understand that he does not understand, and that is the hardest part of all. In early May, Chris released Sonichu Issue 2. This marks a turning point in the comic as the story begins to focus on Christian rather than Sonichu.
One, I'm dumb pedo.
Whoa!
I'm the stupid one, I'm dumb pedogenesis. 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 I'm the stupid one, I'm dumb.
Episode 7 concerns the Antuant Prophecy. When Sonic explains the mysterious prophecy to Christian, Chris reaffirms that he is the creator and father of Sonichu. They enter the Destiny Cave and unknowingly release an ancient evil power. Chris also meets an ancient leader of the Cherokee clan, who reveals that Chris is his reincarnation. He is told that he has to unleash ancient powers to defeat the evil by using his Sonichu medallion to transform into Chris Chan's Sonichu. The story ends in a cliffhanger, with Sarah Hammer and Wes Isley getting possessed by mysterious forces. Between episodes 7 and 8, Chris inserts an advertisement for Axe body spray, in which, ignorant of the societal norms of hygiene, unknowingly confesses that he believes that bathing makes people smell exceptionally nice, to the point that people would compliment you, and that using Axe body spray is just as effective as bathing.
It's tactical.
Episode 8 continues with Wes meeting his past self, who is a member of the Wasabi clan, and turns into Wesley Sonichu and vows to kill Chris. Sarah also sees a vision and meets the queen of the Cherokee clan, and transforms into Sarama Rosechu. Meanwhile, Chris Chan Sonichu accidentally transforms back into his human self, leaving him vulnerable to attack from Wesley Sonichu, who turns himself into a ball and goes for a flying attack, prompting this exchange from the protagonists. What the? Sonichu, run! You don't have to tell me twice, but during the Stone Age. Chris figures out that his attacker is Wes Isley, and confesses how jealous he is of him for being with Sarah, who is eavesdropping nearby. Wesley reveals that he only wants to steal the Cherokean crown. Chris changes into Chris Chan and fights Wesley Sonichu, who eventually knocks Chris out and steals the crown, which inexplicably just came into being. Before Wesley can finish him off, Sarama intervenes and fires a lightning bolt arrow at Wesley, pinning him to an unsacred tree. In the final episode, Sarah breaks up with Wes, who cries out no while shrugging. They learn that Quickville, which is a vibrant community with happy people, cool chicks, business, and a frustrated male, is under attack from a giant stone golem, which is under the control of Mary Lee Walsh and a mysterious talking orb. So Chris Chan, Sarama, and Wesley fly over there to fight them. The orb reveals itself as the ancient evil.
I haven't actually read these comics. They look crazy and hard to follow, but maybe I would suggest
and announces that he is Count Graduan,
someday,
who is a personification symbolizing the pain and sadness of Christian graduating from high school. The three heroes beat them off for a little while, but Walsh and Graduan escape, vowing to fight another day. In the epilogue, Christian and Sarah chat on the couch, and unfortunately for Chris, she reveals that she has found herself another boyfriend named William, and thanks Chris for being a great friend. Christian dedicates an entire page to Sarah Hammer, his lifelong friend, and offers some highlights of their time together. Currently, I don't get to see he as much as I did, because she found herself a boyfriend while I was in Richmond. But I often wonder how she is, and if she is happy with him. I share my troubles with her in my illustrations, letters, and over the phone. I always appreciate the little moments I have with her. The final page is a call to action for all Sonichu fans, in which Chris expresses his wish to have Sonichu produced into a bona fide franchise by Nintendo America. The comic concludes with Sub-Episode 3, which is a dramatic reimagining of Chris's conflict with Mary Lee Walsh, who is the head of the private villa of corrupted citizens, the base of operations for the villains in the Sonichu universe, the name of which is derived from the acronym of Piedmont Virginia Community College. With Sonichu Issue 2, Christian comes closer to blurring the line between real life and his comic book world, creating his own reality. In Sonichu's News Dash Issue 9, Chris announced that he will attend the Anime Mid-Atlantic Convention in Richmond, Virginia on all 3 days. Since he has put himself into Sonichu's world, he will cosplay as himself. Talk about self-respect, huh? Also, he will be watching some of the good anime, getting some souvenirs, participating in some of the events, and just having a good time. Also, he will have some printed copies of Sonichu Premiere Issue 0 on hand. But if you want a collectible copy, you will have to find him and ask for one. He stayed 2 nights alone in a hotel room, and during the convention, he handed out copies of Sonichu Issue 0 to unsuspecting attendees. On June 22nd, Christian recounted the events of the past 2 days. I had my setup at the McDonald's at Walmart, and apparently complaints were made. The 2 manager-jerks, a senior comic, and a black fat jerk. He looked a lot like the leader of the jerk cops at the mall, whom I refer to now as the jerk chief, approached me and took me for a fall with my trying to find a boyfriend-free girl, like I have been doing for the past over 1 year and 10 months. We argued and disputed until the 2 of them left to call the police. While they were gone, I had taken off the sign from my Nintendo DS and hidden it on the back cover of my diary. When the jerk cops came, they were all like, "What seems to be the problem?" And the married senior comic was like, "Where's the sign?" And I was, "What sign?" And another argument was had between the 4 of us, in which I never gave any of those jerks eye contact, because none of them deserved it. So, I got kicked out from the McDonald's, not the Walmart, for the rest of the day. Now for what happened today. I was starting to set up my things, and the B manager was getting in my face. I feel that he really hates me.
The manager!
And he was like, "Don't set up your stuff. Don't push me." I was not going to use the Nintendo DS sign today anyway, but he did not want my pixel block sculptures at all. I stood up against that manager. I continued to build, and I dictated my situation into his face with a song and dance. He went up to the Walmart manager, and he was like, "Hey, let's talk." But I sat silent for a minute. Then I said to him, "I do not speak to any man other than myself, because they all have taken all the pretty girls, leaving me with none." Verbal combat had started, and during the fight, I ran off, still giving verbal punishment, as well as the finger, and many Kamehamehas. I nearly backed up onto him with my car, and I gave him another finger. Then I dashed off. Now, I feel sad, because I have nowhere else to go to attract a boyfriend-free girl. And I feel very furious with those managers and all men other than myself and my father. Chris began believing that there was a conspiracy involving all the men in his town. They all are against me in finding a girlfriend of my own, but I will not give up on my long and tedious love quest. I'll find a new attraction spot, somewhere in Charlottesville, Virginia. There has to be at least one 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free, caring, smoke-free, non-alcoholic white girl out there somewhere. Chris dramatized this entire ordeal in sub-episodes 4 and 5, but his adaptation also featured the manifestation of his dream sibling, Crystal, his twin sister.
Weird.
A mere month later, he caused more trouble, but this time at Target, where he sat waiting to encounter a boyfriend-free girl for hours, taking gross advantage of the free refills at his disposal. I was at the new Target store, just hanging around, not bothering anyone. And, from out of the blue, these 2 managers asked me to leave because they said I was loitering. I was not. I was there hoping to find an 18 to 23-year-old boyfriend-free girl like I usually do. Then, from out of the blue, after I told them off, they came back with 2 jerk cops. I was slightly intimidated, but mostly annoyed and ready to strike back on them. They asked me to leave and never return. I did not want to leave. I would have left peacefully. In fact, I was ready to go. But I had a prepared speech to say to them stupid jerk cops. And during the middle of my speech, they chased me, pulled my pants, and pinned me to the floor. 5 jerk cops dogpiled on me as I struggled to get free. 1,000 pounds of sausages on my 180-pound body were seriously a cutoff for my breathing flow. They handcuffed my wrists and legs, and they hog-tied me. Not only did I feel humiliated from being the victim, but I was angry at them, not only for handcuffing me, but once again thwarting my efforts in trying to find a boyfriend-free girl. They drove me to the county jail, but fortunately, they did not keep me there. I was released to my family. Chris was charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct. It was terrible, but my mother and I are going to get back at them in court, In fact, I learned that the jerk cop who arrested me was called Baggett. That was the only thing about the situation that was hilarious. Replace the B with an F, and you can see how funny it was. However, after attending 2 court hearings, the charges were dropped. This event was recreated in Sonichu sub-episodes 7 and 8, but in Chris's reality, he endured much greater torment, and came out victorious in the end. Less than a week later, Chris had another run-in with the law. This time, a minor fender bender when he rear-ended the car in front of him. He was fined $30 and also paid $56 in court costs. In August, Christian returned to PVCC after the end of his 1-year suspension. It was around this time that Anna announced that she was moving to Utah. Her announcement also somewhat coincided with her 20th birthday, so Christian and her friends organized a birthday/farewell party for her, with Chris claiming that he picked out and bought the cake himself.
Why does he have, like, wounds on his head?
Throughout August and September, Chris engaged in back-and-forth conversations via MySpace with 2 female students, Jelena and Lindsay, but despite all his efforts to meet with them, it ultimately came to nothing. In September, Chris finished Sonichu Issue 4, which was merely a compilation of sub-episodes 1 through 8. He claimed that his mother didn't want him making any more stories concerning his own life, so he obeyed and stopped making sub-episodes. In October, a user on a Sega forum began a discussion thread about Sonichu, in which members discussed the comic and Christian's personal antics. This was the earliest documented online discussion concerning Christian, but the original Sega forum hosting site has since been shut down and there is no known archive of the discussion chain. In November, Shoujo Beat, a manga anthology magazine, published Chris's letter which vaguely concerned the manga Absolute Boyfriend. Riko Izawa in Absolute Boyfriend sort of has the same problem I do. She can't get a guy, and I can't get a girl. Here's my sitch. All the pretty girls are already paired up with some jerk, leaving me with none to choose from. Also, nobody can tell, off the bat, a paired up from a boyfriend-free girl. At first, it's equally hard for Riko to find a girlfriend-free boy, but then she's granted this wish, where she gets a girlfriend-free boy, although he is a robot, delivered to her doorstep. Lucky girl. I'm 23 years old. One would think I'd have gotten a girlfriend by now, but no, I haven't. I'm stuck in the situation where if my parents should pass away, I will be a very lonely virgin. Some months later, a fellow reader sent in a reply to Chris. Why is he only looking for pretty girls? There are plenty of girls who are not supermodel gorgeous whom he could date. It's not the outside of the package that counts, but the inside. A girl can be pretty on the outside, but might be mean or self-centered or have other problems, whereas another girl can be plain or even ugly on the outside, but quite a beautiful, kind, intelligent person on the inside. If more guys would think about what qualities they look for in a girl and make sure those qualities don't just focus on her outer appearance, they might just find a girl to go out with. Otherwise, many girls will think, why bother? He'll just leave me for the next pretty girl he sees. Megan agreed with her sentiment. Chris's advances towards Megan intensified, as is documented in their emails.
God.
She declined giving out her phone number, and later in the same email, also declined his invitation to go out to a restaurant. In an email from December, she stated that she did not appreciate Christian trying to kiss her, and admitted that she's not interested in a relationship, but insisted they can remain as friends. She also confessed to accidentally discovering that he bought Megan a Nintendo DS, even though she had recently just gotten one herself. Through Megan, Chris was introduced to My Little Pony and Sailor Moon.
Oh God.
With Megan providing him with some of her own fan art. He also began making his own custom My Little Pony figures, including one that he made using his own hair. As an adult male fanatic of My Little Pony, he preceded the so-called brony culture, which would only begin to blossom around 5 years later. Megan also requested him to bid on a collection of World War II photos on eBay, of which Chris was the winning bidder. In 2006, Christian's online spending habits intensified, with Chris purchasing My Little Pony and Sailor Moon figures, pornography, and sex toys,
Bootylicious
among
love doll.
other things. In February of 2006, Christian finished drawing Sonichu Issue 3, which took 7 months to complete. The comic begins with the origin stories of each member of the chaotic combo, whose eggs were created in and ejected from the rainbow as seen in episode 1. The green egg lands in the jungle. The electric hedgehog Pokemon that came out of it grows up to become Wild Sonichu. The blue egg lands in the ocean and is rescued by the Pokemon Swampert, which takes it to the beach just in time for it to hatch and become Bubbles Rosechew. The white egg lands in front of a church, and out of it hatches Angelica Rosechew, who is raised by nuns. Mystifyingly, after she evolves into her final form overnight, Christian is outside her window, bringing her a scrunchie and a pair of shoes as a gift. The red egg crashes into Nabe's Dojoshin and hatches. For some reason, Nabe is compelled to rip off the Sunny's tail, causing him to instantly evolve into Punchy Sonichu. The purple egg hatches in a cave, and the purple Sunny starts to telepathically communicate with the Pokemon Mewtwo, who decides to mentor it. For months, this mysterious mentor taught the Sunny how to hone his pores, lift objects mentally and physically, and what the outside world was like. Until one day, during meditation, the Sunny suddenly evolves into Magichan Sonichu. He then farts. The episode ends with a final bulletin which would have been more suitable for a televisual feast rather than a comic book. Stay tuned for when these hedgehogs meet. In the next episode, Blachu steals a Master Sunstone and through a comedy of errors is met with 4 of the chaotic combo. Eventually, the 5-member troupe teams up with Sonichu and they take down Blachu, leaving him in a bloody mess, accompanied by a tweet sound effect, commonplace in cartoons. The comic closes with a fake ad for a call service that would send one of the 2 single men in the world a beautiful girlfriend or a monkey. In May 2006, Christian attained a CAD degree after 5 years of study, even though it should have only taken 2. For the graduation ceremony, he decided to wear the robe from his high school graduation instead. Now that Christian received this qualification, this made him more likely to get a job and advance his life towards building up a career, doing what he loved, and possibly even realizing his wish for the Sonichu franchise to become a dignified reality, making his dream come true.
Damn. Dun, dun. The music is done very well. I think a lot of it is Geno Samuel's actual music. At least that, I believe, is that the theme music. Crazy. Oh, man. So, we got to 81% during this stream. That's amazing. Let me check here. All right. All right. I will be back in just a moment here. We're back. Okay. All right, everybody. I am going to wrap this stream up, and I'll be back later tonight to do some more. So I will see all of you guys there in a couple hours. All right. Till next time.